for world champions, and also a world exclusive, one of Jose Mourinho's blockbuster summer signings is going to be joining us live on Skype. Doesn't get much bigger than that, but right now, without further ado, this is a show by the fans, for the fans. Let's get some fans here on the lime green sofa. We have our Crystal Palace fans, James Howland and Don Burrell. James, come and join us. Hello, chaps.
Good to meet you.
How you doing, James?
Yes.
Dom.
Nice to meet you.
Toby, how you doing, lads? All right, welcome.
Yeah, not bad.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. You won a game.
Yes!
You won a game. That's unheard of.
Occasionally.
It happens occasionally.
Exactly.
Actually, in the last 6 years, it's happened a lot. Since the new owners,
Yeah.
we've done really well. And it's only natural as Palace fans to become a bit rubbish again of recent times.
Yeah.
And say, kind of made us feel at home the last 6 months. You know,
It
is Palace. It's
you
not
are
a
a
new
club
team.
that likes to. You kind of laugh at yourselves a bit as far. I've got a lot of friends who are Palace fans. You're kind of quite tongue-in-cheek sometimes. You're quite detrimental about yourself, self-deprecating.
You have to
But
be.
yeah,
You
that's
have
the
to
thing.
be.
Well, you've said we're a club in crisis, but we won a game, so that's us done for the season.
We beat Blackpool. They were in the Premier League once. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Big
Yeah,
teams.
exactly. They're one of the few teams that are in bigger free fall than you are at the minute, Blackpool. It's a League Cup win, but it's a win nonetheless.
It is.
Do you care about the League Cup?
Not really.
No, honestly, no.
Well, to us, we will. I mean, a few years ago when we won at Old Trafford, it was the biggest competition in the world.
Yeah,
the World Cup's up there. The League Cup was there. It was huge.
Dan Ambrose screamer.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
That night was.
Yeah, do you remember much of that night?
I do. I was on strike. I'm a teacher, and I
really?
took the day off on strike to go up to Old Trafford. I felt very deeply that I should go to that game.
Is that when the teachers go on strikes? Is that what's really happening? You guys just have games.
Yeah,
Is that all it is?
Remember, this is
mainly
TV. People can see.
In my head, teachers watching. No.
I guess it is one of those tournaments, the League Cup, where fans always say they don't care, and then as soon as you're in about the quarters or semi-final, certainly, you suddenly go, oh, I love the League Cup. I always wanted to win the League Cup.
It's funny because we've been in the League Cup, well, we've been going 2-3 times semi-final, and because we always thought, oh, never get to the FA Cup final, you know, that's a different thing. It was always the one, right, we might do something.
Yeah.
So it's quite bizarre to actually get to the FA Cup, which didn't happen. We don't really talk about it.
We don't talk about the FA Cup.
No.
We probably will talk about the FA Cup at
we'll
some
leave.
stage, I'm afraid to say. Talk to me. So, Palace fans, how long? All your lives?
Yeah, so my dad was a Palace fan. It's 1969, we went up to the top division, was first year. Got taken by his teacher, which would be very controversial these days. The teacher
His teacher took him to the game.
Basically on the Friday, different world back then, Friday night, said, right, kids, who wants to go to Palace tomorrow? About 5 of them went along.
Really?
And, yeah, I mean, I'd get in a lot of trouble if I sort of did that now. So, yeah, he went, and then because of him, I've got 3 older brothers, none supported Palace.
Oh, none of them are Palace?
They all said, right, support Tottenham, support Man U, support Liverpool. Got to FA Cup semi-final, I think, 96.
Yeah.
And Cantona. They didn't like saying, sorry, so I swear on TV.
Yeah.
Got to FA Cup semi-final, they were all in it. And then obviously Liverpool played United, and I said, right, out the 3 of you, whoever wins the FA Cup, I'll support. United won it. And about a week later, I turned around and said, who's that team you support, Dad? And he said, oh, Crystal Palace. So I said, right, whoever they are, right, I'll support them.
Oh, really?
The first game was the playoff final about a year later.
Not a bad first game to choose.
David Hopkins scored in the last minute, and become more and more obsessed and declined into addiction ever since.
The rest is history. The rest is history. And yourself, I mean, I'm spotting the kit there. It's
I
a bit of an
know.
old school.
So even though James is about 20 years older than me, I actually started going before him. I don't remember my first match, but it was Ian Dowie's first ever game for Palace.
95.
Oh, really?
So that's how long
Maybe
ago that
longer,
was.
but no less. So.
That's a throwback. That's a throwback.
Exactly.
And talk to me about this kit. Which kit is this?
So it's from the 1970s, 1972, the likes of Peter Taylor, Mel Blythe, those sorts of players.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be a football hipster really by wearing it.
Obviously,
that's way
I've got
before
Rome
my time.
1977 Liverpool shirts at home. I wasn't around, but who cares? Talk about the nickname. I never knew this.
So back then we were called the Glaziers because we were named after the Crystal Palace.
Of course.
Obviously that burnt down, and now we play at Soho.
So that's more recent than, because that's the 70s. So you were the Glaziers still relatively recent.
It was Malcolm Allison who came in, who is absolutely adored by Palace fans. You think of modern football, how it's changed. He got us relegated twice, back-to-back seasons. And he is still, he smoked a cigar, drank champagne and wore a fedora hat. We're basically a big character.
So you went down, but you went down in style.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
We went to 3rd division and got to an FA Cup semi-final. So,
that's the thing. So
win
the
some, you
magic
lose
of
some.
the cup. So Blackpool, we've beaten them. You know, Pardew's our god.
Exactly. Pardew's the new Alisson.
Doesn't wear a fedora hat though. But he might dance.
He might outside of games as well. He might. I don't know what Pardew wears on his daily day.
I dread to think, to be honest. Probably a Hawaiian shirt.
I like to think so. I reckon he wears something a bit outlandish. Let's talk about the current crop then, not the 1970s lot. Wilfried Zaha, Player of the Year last year, was he for you guys? Kind of loved at Palace.
It was a really bizarre one because in the first half of the season when we were really good, he didn't do a lot, and then half the team got injured. And he just was the only player to really shine out.
Was he just still bang average, but the rest had got
Possible. So the thing with Zaha is, like, obviously it didn't work with United, and part of that was probably Ferguson leaving, part of it probably wasn't ready, not good enough, whatever. But for me, we've got better players in our current squad, but he's just such an exciting player to watch.
Yeah.
And in terms of dribbling, I don't think there's a better player certainly not a better English player than Zaha. And it's just fun to watch him play. And Balassi was the same. You know, we signed Balassi as a Bristol City reserve player for 300,000. And to watch him, he tripped himself up as often as he did, but to watch him absolutely bamboozle some of the world's best defenders.
I think that skill in the court by the corner flag at White Hart Lane.
I mean, that was just... I mean, I actually watched that on an island with limited electricity in Thailand. And, you know, had this entire bar going, who's this guy? I was like, I know him. And, you know, I just think watching them for the last 3-4 years.
They're kind of
so
mercurial.
exciting.
I kind of think of my example of mercurial. Adam Tarap's the prime mercurial example that they might do something.
He did it in the Championship.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really funny because people always describe Balassi as he doesn't even know what he's going to do next, and he gets so angry about it. He'll be on Twitter, Instagram, going, "I know what I do."
Oh really?
But he doesn't.
The way he plays, it almost seems like that's the way.
I love him.
To be honest, a lot of Palace fans, I think this is a Twitter thing, because, you know, they're singing his name in his lot when we knew he was off.
Yeah.
I love him too. On Twitter, people are slating him, but, you know, he came to us for nothing. He's gone for 28 million.
Yeah.
And the amount of enjoyment watching him, it's just been fantastic.
Sad to see him go overall.
Yeah, I'm gutted.
I'm scared about playing him on just before the start of October.
Coming back to
Bournemouth. And he is up and down. And, you know, it is a transfer that might not work. It's a ridiculous amount of money.
I mean, that's the one thing I would say. Certainly from the neutrals' perspective, it seemed like a very good deal you got for Yannick Balassi. For a guy who, as exciting as he is to watch, didn't do a fat lot in terms of final product.
True. I mean, I do think, you know, our success, and obviously the last 6 months has been pretty much downward spiral.
Yeah.
But until then, we'd sort of had 3-4 years of just upward success. And Zaha and Balassi, while their stats aren't great in a Football Manager sort of thing, they did just terrify defenders.
Yeah.
And I mean, they allowed Fraser Campbell got 5 goals. That's quite an achievement. That couldn't have happened without, you know,
we had some Palace fans on a couple
of
weeks ago who told me that Fraser Campbell's best contribution is when he's injured.
Oh, yes. It's like Christmas when that happens.
Which is quite a lot. He's injured quite a lot, so Christmas comes around quite a few times.
Unfortunately, no, everyone but him seemed to get injured last year. He's better than Calvin Andrew, you know.
That's not really a compliment, though, is it?
Calvin Andrew came from non-league, went back to non-league, played 70-odd games for us somehow in between.
And then we reckon non-league's definitely a standard. I've got a caller now on Skype. You've got Bournemouth on the weekend. 2 teams are struggling. Hello, mate. Are you there?
Hello.
Hello, mate. How you doing? All right. Victor, how you doing, mate?
Yes, I'm Victor.
I believe you're calling us from Moscow.
Yes.
You are a Bournemouth fan from Moscow. How does that happen?
No one knows. We thought it was odd. One of our close mates is a Palace fan from Moscow.
I've seen the first game with Bournemouth versus Millwall, and Bournemouth win 5-2, as I remember. And since that time, I love this team. I can't explain this, but I love this team.
Once you can pick your team. Once you pick your team, you can't go back on that. So Bournemouth won the first game you went to 5-2 against Millwall. If Millwall had won 5-2 there, would we be talking to a Millwall fan right now? Yeah, look at him. He's a fair weather fan, this guy, isn't he? Not off to a great start this season. Palace kind of in the same boat. Huge game. Is it too early to have a 6-pointer?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Victor, mate, what do you reckon about your chances on the weekend?
I expect that Bournemouth will wake up.
Bournemouth will wake up.
Yes, in this Saturday, and I will see the inner age of Bournemouth players as the last seasons.
You confident? Can you give us a score prediction, Victor?
I don't understand you, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Can you give us? Can you predict what you think the score's going to be? That probably didn't help. I just said the same words in a slightly different order.
What the scores will be?
Yeah, Bournemouth versus Palace this weekend. What do you reckon?
I want to see a 3-0 score.
3-0.
3-2.
Yeah, who to? To Bournemouth or Crystal Palace?
For Bournemouth, of course.
Victor, are you not scared about Benteke?
Yes, mate. You've got to be scared about a bit of Christian Benteke coming your way. He's bigger than you.
He usually did much works on the football field. I have some pretty for these players, and I think he's strong. He's physically very strong, like a Pogba, I think, and he is a really good transfer for Crystal Palace.
Are Bournemouth going to stay up this year, mate? Are you going to avoid relegation? I don't know what that reaction means. Is that a yes?
I think he's scared about Benteke.
You've terrified him.
Yeah.
Victor, mate, we're going to let you go, but good luck on the weekend. I hope 3-0 comes your way. Sorry, boys. Cheers, Victor, mate. Thank you for getting in touch. 3-0. 3-0.
I'm confident that
Bournemouth
won't be the score.
You're confident that won't
either
be
way, to be honest.
Either way, yeah.
I don't think either team's got capable of 3 goals in them,
I
to be
don't think
honest.
they are. I mean, that is your big problem.
I mean, we're last on match of the day tomorrow, aren't we? Palace Bournemouth.
Palace Bournemouth.
You know.
Even if it's a 4-goal thriller, 8-goal thriller, it's going to be last on match of the day.
We're only first on match of the day when we play Liverpool because we always beat them.
Yeah, that's true. You've brought that up a lot, I feel, already. I mean, talking about teams that have been frightened by Yannick Bolasie, let's talk about that game under the lights at Selhurst Park.
Cristanbul.
Cristanbul.
No, that's what we like to call it.
Cristanbul, I love that.
That game was the last one I went to before a year of living abroad.
Oh, really?
And it was just the perfect sign-off from, going from campaigning outside Lloyd's Bank for the club being liquidated to then getting promoted 3 years later to then looking, losing 10 of our first 11 games, and it's looking pretty pathetic in the Premier League, to suddenly Tony Pulis coming in and just saying, no, we're going to win enough games 1-0. Yeah. And then once he'd done that, to turn around, 3-0 down against Liverpool, I would say it was probably the best atmosphere in sort of 600 games I've been to.
Really, the best?
It was amazing.
At 3-0 down. So I turned to my mate next to me, we were just chatting about, player of the year, and I said, it's got to be Damien Delaney. And he went, yeah. And then he shot, and the fact it was a big deflection was irrelevant. Damien Delaney scored a 30-yard screamer, and Selhurst erupted like we won the World Cup. So when the second one went in, we just said, we've got this. It was inevitable.
It was one of those where you knew that you were going to get any closer.
If you'd given us 2 more minutes in the game, we would have won
4-3.
So this is the story, and I still think it's dubious, but my mate lives in Ballums, a good 4 or 5 miles from Selhurst Park, and he said he turned off the telly and he reckons he heard the cheer when we equalised, and he said because he heard the cheer, he thought, what the hell is that? He looked on BBC and just could not believe it that
is dubious, isn't it?
I mean, even I'm dubious, but I like to think it's true.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But the Arthur Waite was genuinely shaking at 3-2 down.
Yeah. The Arthur Waite shakes when 7 men were on it as we drew 0-0 with Berry,
Right, we'll come back to that game. We'll talk about that more. First, we've got to take our first break of the evening. And that also means that for the first time this evening, we are playing Kim, Kim or Kim. There they are. There they are, Kim Kardashian, Kim Jong-un and Kim Kallstrom, the 3 Kims. And as ever, the way this game works, we give you a fact or a statistic or a story about one of those 3. We need you to get involved on Twitter @FanTVUK and tell us if you think you know which Kim we are talking about. The first clue of the night is that one of these Kims, their favourite animal is a monkey. Is it Kim Kardashian, Kim Jong-un, or Kim Kallstrom? Get your answers in on Twitter @FanTVUK. And don't go away, stick around. What do you reckon, lads? Which Kim?
Kim Kallstrom.
Get even more with the Sky Sports Bundle. More Premier League matches with 126 live games. 3 times more than BT Sport. And enjoy new goals and highlights on your mobile. Plus, get a free 32-inch LG TV and a Sky Plus HD box. So enjoy more this season with 126 live Premier League games, mobile goals and highlights, and a free 32-inch LG TV. Search Sky Bundles or call 0800 151 2776. Sky. Believe in better.
I'm here with these thermal goggles to show you how much heat these old double glazed windows lose compared to Everest triple glazing.
Look where they're leaking all their heat from. You'll see on the right side here, the Everest triple glazed windows keep it inside where it belongs. That's because their 5-chamber profile and extra pane of glass help make them Everest's warmest window ever. And they're now available at 1991 prices with Price Rewind. Fit the best. Fit Everest.
So, say you was after a loan go. There ought to be this one fantastic, clever website where you can check out a load of options all together in one place. So you know you was getting a really straight deal. Be well fantastic.
Go Compare.
Oh!
It's all good news, there's loads to choose at Go Compare.
Fantastic!
From loans to plastic, they're quite fantastic.
Oh.
Nothing quite compares to Go Compare.
Fantastic!
Engaging conversations and a shot at finding the one. That's why I'm on Elite Singles.
EliteSingles.co.uk for single professionals.
Here we go, welcome back to Fan TV. We're live on Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube as always, and we've got our Crystal Palace fans with us. Hello chaps, how you doing, all right?
Hello. Good.
Let's go back to Cristambul. I don't know why I'm giving you the satisfaction of talking about Cristambul, the famous Liverpool 3-3 under the lights at Selhurst Park. We're talking about the atmosphere there. My favourite thing about the atmosphere that night was, even as a Liverpool fan, was that it's that thing where Crystal Palace didn't really have much to play for, but it's really fun ruining it for somebody else, isn't it? And I don't know why that is.
To be honest, it is. And, you know, as football fans, that's our biggest trait, is kicking off friends when we're down.
Yeah.
If you know someone who supports another club, it's extra special. But it was just such a ridiculous few months, because as I say, we were so hopeless at the start of the Premier League season. I remember we went to West Brom away, and we lost 2-0 so comfortably. The most upsetting thing about that, I thought, they were rubbish, West Brom. And they were comfortably better than us. And so Tony Pulis came in, and, you know, he's got his faults, and obviously we've got the court case and whatever, and we've won, where he left. But for those few months where we just seemed to beat we had the 3rd best defence in the league. It was just ridiculous. And so we were just celebrating that. And the fact we're 3-0 down, the atmosphere was fantastic.
Does Tony Pulis get a bit of a raw deal?
I don't think we care that much anymore, because he saved us. We would definitely still be in the Championship if it wasn't for him.
Yeah.
And I think now it's almost at peace. Every time we play them, I personally just hope we do. We do them over, but I think no one really cares. We know we're going to lose.
But I think it's a strange one with Pulis, and it's really hard to gauge, because, like, you know, you look on Twitter at the moment and the forums, you get so much hate towards Pardew. But then last week at Spurs, we were singing his name, and
I mean,
so actually in the ground, it's fine, and the actual fans going. And so it's really on Twitter and stuff. Pulis is hated, but in the ground, as you say, I think it's just generally.
Let's talk about Alan Pardew, because he's quite a divisive figure, isn't he? I mean, what is the general consensus?
I think we love Pardew, but it's one of those. He's a knob, but he's our knob, so you like
him.
Exactly.
But everyone's got that mate.
Exactly.
It's kind of embarrassing, but he's kind of embarrassing. But you're used to it by now. That dance.
I turned to my mate at the cup final and went, "We've lost now, haven't we?" He's gone, "Yeah." As soon as you saw that dance, you know that was going to be a meme, that was going to be a gif everywhere.
I'd say the bizarre thing with Pardew is, you know, his first year he was there, we were, I think, 4th best results in the country or 5th best results in the country.
Well, you were equal with Tottenham Hotspur
at Christmas. Yeah. And then the fact that we had an absolutely abysmal run, for me, like, we went to a cup final, like, that's sensational. You know, I've supported Palace. We've been in the lower range of, like, the Championship most of the time I've been supporting us. So actually, Pardew's time has been incredible. I think most fans recognise that. We were so average in the Championship for 15, 16 years before he turned up. Well, not he turned up, but obviously our current rise. But actually, you know, he clearly wants the right thing. I think if Zaha, yesterday the rumours that, you know, he'd fallen out with Zaha, I think that would have tested a lot of our patience.
Let's talk about that. Wilfried Zaha, you know, a bit of a hero. We've touched on him already. It seems as though Steve Parish has said he's not going anywhere, but money does talk. Do you think you'll have him at September 1st?
To be honest, if someone came in and bid silly money, he'd go, but no one's going to. Tottenham have seen he's a bit unsettled, cheeky bid. The theory I heard from a Spurs fan, controversial, don't want to get you shut down.
No, you know, be controversial. That's what we're all about. Be controversial,
the theory I've heard from a Spurs fan is that basically Levy's done this before. They're after this winger who's from Marseille. I forget his name.
Ndlovu, yeah.
And because they want him, it suits them to be publicly in for another winger.
Yeah.
Zaha wants a new contract. You know, he's probably on a quarter of what Benteke's on, third of what Kabai's on. You think, actually, he outperformed Kabai last year.
Yeah.
So he's thinking, I'd serve a new contract. So if his agent and Daniel Levy got together, very public biz, not generally the dumb way that you come out and announced you've signed, especially when it was a bid that was always going to be rejected. You know, £12 million. Money does talk, but you're not going to get him for 12 million quid.
Especially not in this window.
Yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think part of it is game playing, and I fully suspect Spurs will get their winger for the price they want, and Zaha will get the contract he wants, and it's just been total game playing on behalf of the pair.
I mean, that is the thing now, isn't it? Benteke, I mean, I saw an amazing statistic somewhere. Apparently, the money you've spent on Christian Benteke as a percentage of your revenue is the equivalent of Man United spending twice what they actually spent on Paul Pogba. It's equivalent to them spending 160 million on Paul Pogba. He must have completely changed the wage structure of Crystal Palace.
But again, we sold Balassi for a price that we would never sell anyone else for. So I think that definitely balances out. I mean, and we needed a striker who's going to put it in because we've got Balassi and Zaha crossing in. No one's getting it in the net, and I know now we're getting the other way, but.
Let's talk about that. So Benteke, you know, he seems to be a striker that thrives off service.
Well, this is the thing. Benteke failed at Liverpool last year.
Yeah.
So being the sad person I am as a football fan, I went on YouTube when we signed him. I thought, all right, Villa video of 50 goals for Aston Villa. Brilliant. And then automatically YouTube, the way it does, you lose 5 hours of your life. And went on to all his goals for Liverpool. And the thing that shocked me, he scored 10 goals, was it, or whatever?
Yeah.
But 5 or 6 were sensational, and he completely made himself. Only one header for Liverpool, which suggests to me they're not putting enough crosses in.
And he was a square peg round hole signing, which Brendan Rodgers was pretty good at those. He had Ricky Lamb and Andy Carroll before that. That wasn't Brendan Rodgers. He didn't get the service, and his bicycle kick at Man U. That was so underrated. I thought that was goal of the season.
Yes, because it was a consolation goal. No one really remembers it.
Yeah. What about the Liverpool game last season? Benteke, final minute penalty.
Well, we've come up with a theory. At the time, we thought he was a real cheat, but I've watched it again recently. And actually what happened is Adebayor flew in, kicked him in the head, and it was a definite penalty.
Oh, it was a definite penalty.
Adebayor was at fault.
Yeah,
Adebayor was completely at fault. Wasn't Damien Delaney. Damien Delaney was nowhere near him.
No,
he's faultless. He's a legend.
We won't badmouth
It was Adebayor, definitely.
So, on a more serious note, at the time, I genuinely thought Delaney actually clipped him.
Real time.
Real time.
It looked a Stonewaller, didn't it?
Live, I was at the other end, and I thought, penalty, what are you doing? Watching it on telly, it was Adebayor. It was disgusting. That's all I'll say on live telly.
Yeah, Damien Delaney, is he going to play as James Tompkins and Scott Down, the preferred partnership?
I mean, Tompkins is going to come in. Bizarrely, he got absolutely bullied by a League Two centre-back in the week.
Yeah, I've heard this.
Striker.
A striker, yeah. I think Tompkins is going to be the future, and I'm sure he'll settle in and be fine. But Delaney, I just wouldn't drop him for anyone.
The thing, he's been fantastic, and every year for the past 4 years or so, we go, he's got one more year in him, and then he'll play even better the next year. So
he's kind of that Clint Hill at QPR, kind of the one
Palace. Clint Hill at Palace.
But he's kind of at QPR, and Jamie Mackey was the same.
Yeah, exactly.
You think they're the players that are going to lose their place, but actually, you can't fault them. They're there.
Absolutely.
Delaney, you know what you're going to get.
Every year we say we need another centre-back to replace Delaney.
I mean, it's interesting, does he? He just plays every week. So, I mean, he does lump it forward to 70 yards to no one, but Benteke will win them now.
Exactly.
I loved his quote the other day. He was like, we signed Benteke. I'll do the Irish accent, but I'm not very good at accents. We signed Benteke. He's not Lionel Messi. But, we need to give him good service. He's not Lionel Messi. And I was thinking, get the crosses in. 70-yard lumps forward. That's what he'll thrive on, Damo. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is he going to get the service? Because Wilfried Zaha's end product isn't what he's renowned for. And Andros Townsend is going to cut inside and shoot every single time he gets the ball. He's a poor man's Arjen Robben, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Is Benteke going to spend a lot of the time walking around the centre circle, throwing his hands in the air, getting annoyed?
So our fullbacks are even worse at crossing.
Suarez.
Suarez a legend. Don't say anything against Suarez. We won't talk about his ability, but he is a legend.
He's forbidden me from talking about Suarez.
Yeah.
So.
The concept of Pape Suarez is fantastic.
He's got a good top knot, that's all I'll say.
He's got a strong lid. He's got a
strong top knot. He's hilarious. Good sense of humour.
Good sense of humour.
He's brilliant.
This goes back to what I say about Crystal Palace fans just like having a bit of a laugh at yourself. You don't care if you get relegated if you've got a bit of a joker at right back.
We won't get relegated. Nothing bad happens to Palace in recent years.
Are you sad to see another one that's gone? It's Mile Jedinak. It's gone to Aston Villa. I had a feeling that you were going to react like that.
That is
gutting, right?
Yeah, that's
losing a member of the family. Really, he was the spine of Crystal Palace. We had him, through all the good times we've had him, and now he's gone. And he was part of the team. He was probably the best player, I think, against West Brom. It's not tricky, but
to be honest, more importantly, we got promoted. I think there's only one team, someone in League Two, who's got more goals than us. We had Zaha got an England call up and signed for Man United. We had Balassi tearing apart, was in Team of the Year for the Championship. We had Glenn Murray scored 32 goals. There was no question for any Palace fan who our Player of the Year was, and that was Mile Jedinak.
Yeah.
First year up in the Premiership. He was absolutely colossal. He was unbelievable. To be honest, even last year when he lost his place, he was brilliant in the Cup final. He's a fan's legend. He said he was willing to stay and fight for his place. He's just everything that's been good about our Rays. And what's hilarious, it's like, you look at pictures in his first season, he was quite skinny. And you think, he's a beast, isn't he?
Now, isn't
he is a beast, and he's got the beard to go with it.
He's got a hell of a beard.
He'd be a good Viking.
You've had some good beards down at Palace. Joe Ledley as well, rocking a serious beard as well.
Yeah.
Fair play. And he can strike a mean free kick, Jedinak. I don't want to talk about that either.
That game, I tell you what, that game was absolutely hilarious. I was in Asia at the time.
Yeah.
And I turned up at this place in South Malaysia called Malacca. And I thought, all right, it'd be easy. You find an Irish bar. I've been in Kuala Lumpur the day before, and they've got all the Premier League games on every bar. I thought, it'd be easy to find a game. And so I was wondering, and of course, what happens? Flipping storm, absolutely, it's rainy season.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And it's a monsoon starts. There's thunder, there's lightning, there's heavy rain. I'm like, no, I really want to watch Palace Liverpool. I'm wandering around this. I get in the cab, and he takes me to about 5 different bars, and they're all like, football?
Where are they from, these people?
It's in Malaysia.
That's how Malaysians sound, by the way.
Well, I told you I wasn't good at accents.
Football?
Sounds like our mate on...
it's like Victor on Skype.
So I was wandering around and, absolutely hammering it down. Eventually I said, is that sound? So I find out, I turn up, it's a restaurant that's showing the game. They don't serve beer. So I'm sat in this restaurant outside screen with obviously a cover on, watching hammering rain, and then all these local Malaysians in Liverpool shirts watching it, not knowing what the hell's going on. And they could not get their head around that I was from England and didn't support Liverpool. Who's this team you're the team who mucked up last season. And so, but they didn't, and when we scored and Jedinak would go, yeah! And just half it was Liverpool fans, the other half were just Malaysians out for an evening meal. All just turn around. What the hell is this?
Sober's a judge at this point as well. No alcohol being accepted.
You don't need it when Mile Jedinak scoring 30-yard free kicks.
That's the only drug you need, isn't he? Right, we're going to take another quick break. We're still live on Sky 2 and 2, Facebook and YouTube. Don't go anywhere. We're going to keep on talking all things Crystal Palace and football as well. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
I need to get this here from George.
Get even more with the Sky Sports Bundle. More Premier League matches with 126 live games. 3 times more than BT Sport. And enjoy new goals and highlights on your mobile. Plus, get a free 32-inch LG TV and a Sky Plus HD box. So enjoy more this season with 126 live Premier League games, mobile goals and highlights, and a free 32-inch LG TV. Search Sky Bundles or call 0800 151 2776. Sky. Believe in better.
Can we get travel insurance even though some of us take medication?
Sure you can.
But I've got my hip.
And I've got my high blood pressure.
And I've got... Nigel, can we all get cover?
Sure you can. Stay Sure specialise in travel insurance for pre-existing medical conditions.
So can I go scuba diving then?
Sure you can. Our policies cover all kinds of activities.
Yes!
Call us now on 0800 054 2256 or go online to staysure.co.uk and quote TV offer to get 10% off the base premium of all policies.
Growing strawberries is about patience and choosing your moment. When our strawberries are ripe, it's a race against the clock to get them picked when they are at their prime freshness. We can get these strawberries picked, dispatched and into the little store the next day. Well, most of them anyway.
Hi there, welcome back to Fan TV. We are still live, got a couple of Crystal Palace fans on the lime green sofas, but right now we're going to go over to Skype. I think we've got Jonathan, our Tottenham Hotspurs fan, calling us. Jonathan, you there? Hello, Jonathan, what are you holding up there? what is one of them? What is one of them? Is that Wilfred?
You must be the only Spurs fan who wants it to happen.
Come on, Wilfred.
Is it official? Is that the unveiling? That's Wilfred Zaha. You've put on a few pounds, Wilfred. You've let yourself go a bit since I last saw you, mate. How you doing, Jonathan? You good?
That's why he needs Poch, to whip him back into shape.
Honestly, do you want Wilfred Zaha?
Well, I don't think he should be top of our transfer list, if I'm honest. But I do think we need to strengthen a little bit in terms of firepower from the bench. So I don't think they'll let him go, though, with Balassi going.
I don't know if Wilfred Zaha is going to be happy warming the bench down the road, is he?
He's done it at Man U and was frustrated, so he's not going to go over to Spurs and just sit on the bench.
What do you think about this theory? These guys reckoned that it's not going to happen. It's all a plan for you to get this Endlovu that you've been after for ages, and it's just a bit of a scare tactic.
It's difficult to say. I mean, I think the one area of the pitch I think is where we could do with beefing up a little bit. I know we've got Ericsson and Ali as well, but when you look at the bench, I think we're super solid at the back. We're backing up Kane now, but I think that area where we've always had a bit of an embarrassment of riches has gone a little bit light. So I think it's believable in one sense, but like you said, I mean, it could be.
The Champions League draw yesterday must be nice to be back in Europe.
Oh, thrilled! Yeah, I just can't wait to get cracking with it. I'm glad we avoided all the big boys. Like to get them at some stage, but maybe a little bit later in the competition than the group round. So yeah, can't wait to get started with it again. You
got to be confident in your chances. You've got CSKA Moscow, Bayern Leverkusen, and Monaco. 3 good teams, but 3 teams on your day. You'd back yourself to knock out, wouldn't you? Definitely. I think all 4 teams would look at the group and be rightly quite confident. I think it's a really close group, probably the closest group. CSK will probably be the bookies' favourite, but I think we look at that group thinking that we're going to get out of it. I really am confident about it. Hopefully, we can get something away today. I think Russia in January will be a difficult game, one that I don't think I'll get a pass to go to from the missus, if I'm honest. But yeah, I think we'll get out of the group. Hopefully we'll do better than the Arsenal, second in the group, and then obviously get Bayern or Barca and go home again. Yeah, exactly. Crystal Palace, let's talk about... Sorry, mate. Let's talk about the Crystal Palace game. You won last weekend against the boys here. What did you think of the game? Were you robbed over there, Palace?
No, not really. it was gutting, and to be honest, I thought we were going to get a draw. Spurs, I thought both teams just looked tired. Both teams didn't really look completely up for it, but Spurs had the chances, and it was nice that they've re-signed Soldado and put him up front. But
yeah, he had about 10 chances and just kept hitting it straight at the keeper. Didn't
Is that Janssen?
Yeah, Janssen.
Well, what did you think of the game, Jonathan?
Enjoyed it. I was glad to squeak it. In all fairness, I think our players look a little bit jaded after the summer. I think England Hotspur never really hit the heights that they promised to. After 34 games after 34 games, we were looking incredible, and then we disappeared. Really, it just ran out of ideas, and I don't
Didn't
think
someone finish above you at the end?
I can't recall, in all fairness. I think I've got that out. You know,
I think it's very fair. About 14 teams.
We're still shocked to be in the Premier League. We're happy.
Talk about that. They're saying you've re-signed Robert Soldado, Janssen up front. What do you reckon?
Well, I know that the jury has to be a little bit out, but I think the jury's starting to finish their tea, and I think they're deciding they're ready to come back. Actually, so I disagree with the fellas there, me and Wilfred. I think he's a bit of a beast. I think he'll surprise a lot of people. The more you read, the more you look into his pedigree. I think there's nothing but positive stuff said about him. I think Spurs sometimes have a bit of a knack of signing someone as almost a finished article, and then for some inexplicable reason, they don't quite get on too well with Spurs. It happens sometimes. I really hope it doesn't, because I think we've got one that's really approaching the peak of the peak of his ability. Maybe not the peak of his career necessarily, but I think he's a quality striker, and I think Poch will get the best out of him, as I think he keeps on doing with young players, like he could also do with Wilfred. So, but I think he's a perfect manager for him.
Let's talk about the team selection. So you guys remember at Selhurst Park last season, Dele Alli scoring an absolute wonder goal.
It's one of the few I've clapped.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you clapped it?
It was.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah, you remember that. You don't remember St. Tottenham's Day, but you remember Dele Alli screaming at Palace. But he wasn't in the squad. He didn't start on the weekend. That was a shock to me as a Liverpool
To be honest,
fan.
it was typical. Palace fans sang abuse to him when he came on. Within about 30 seconds, he'd done a wonder pass to put Soldado through on goal.
Dele Alli, surely he's going to be in your first team, right?
Definitely. I think when everyone's fit and firing, he walks into our starting lineup. I think he's got something real special about him, which is why he was starting for England as well. I think everyone would love to have Dele Alli in their team. I think these guys would absolutely love to have a player like Dele Alli. I mean, I think he's top draw. But yeah, he starts all day long for me. You just got to stick with him. Not in his best of form, but you got to stick him in your starting lineup at the moment.
Only reason he wasn't is the season started too early, and Spurs probably suffering more than most.
Exactly.
We're suffering a bit, but I think
I don't know why. I mean, the England players do look quite tired across all the teams at the minute. We got knocked out pretty early. I don't understand why they all look so knackered. What's going on there? And Harry Kane as well. He's come back. Is he taking your set pieces over at White Hart Lane?
You won't find a bigger fan of Harry Kane than me, but the very first time I saw him taking a corner, I almost fell out my seat. I almost spilt my pint. It was almost disastrous. I couldn't believe it. And as much as I tried to defend it, it was just ridiculous. And no, he's not on our set pieces. Maybe a few of the free kicks, but you know, what was all that about?
I mean, the staggering thing was he was allowed to keep taking them. The first one was terrible. You think, all right, maybe give him a second one, but he took them throughout the whole. I mean, it was the last minute of the last game, wasn't it? But he just curled that one straight out of touch.
I was watching the first game when Harry Kane was.
We were there.
You were there. You were there.
Us,
so I was sat next to my mate Luke, who's a big Spurs fan, and Harry Kane stepped over the first corner, and I turned to him and went, does he ever take corners over? I've never seen him take corners at Tottenham. He goes, I've never seen him take corners either. So, I mean, how does that happen? I don't understand it. You ever seen him taking corners for your boys?
I honestly couldn't say I have. I honestly could not. I mean, to think that there's, no one in the entire England team that could have taken a better corner, be a better option in the box.
For 4 games as well.
Ridiculous.
I mean, it was like they were having some kind of private joke with the nation. How long we can actually get away with this for?
Harry Kane, he's obviously not scored any goals yet. I know it's only been a couple of games. He struggled at the beginning of last season. Do you ever worry about Harry Kane? He's ever going to have a slump, or do you just think he's a guaranteed 20-goal a season striker?
I think this is the first time since he really arrived in the first team proper, that I think, given the summer as well, that he's had a real knock to his confidence. I think it'd be really interesting to see as and when he starts scoring again. I think he just needs one to just bump in off his shins. And I think he's that kind of player where if he's confident, I think if he finds that confidence again, the goals will flow. I think he's a real natural goal scorer. I think the best England have had in a long time. So I really want him to get his shooting boots back on real quick.
Do you think, I mean, we talked about, Wilfried Zaha, Bolassie's gone now. He's going to be kind of the main man on the wings for you guys, certainly the guy that's been there a while. Do you think that players come in, make them better or worse? Do you think Janssen's going to take some of the... Does Harry Kane always strikes me as the guy that loves leading Tottenham Hotspur and being their guy that's going to get them the goal? Do you think Janssen's going to offer him good competition and motivate him? Or do you think it would be detrimental to Harry Kane?
Well, I think Poch will manage it really well. You've got a backing manager, and I think what he has shown is there has been a lot of players that have come off the bench, a lot of young players that have come through. Janssen obviously new to the side, and in pre-season we tried with 2 up top a couple of times. I think it worked well. Janssen's looked dangerous. He did bag a couple in pre-season, so I think it's all about how Poch manages it. Really, I think everyone knows that Kane's the main man. I think he's had that much impact in the last 2 seasons. I'm sure Janssen's probably gone there and thought, well, fair dues. I'm a number two striker, but we've already dropped Kane deep. We've already played both of them up top, so he's really looking at options for them. In Poch we trust. I really think that it's down to Poch to manage it.
Yeah, I think Poch is a superb manager, isn't he? Final one from me as well. You're playing my boys tomorrow, early kick-off, Liverpool. What do you reckon?
I'm getting stick off my mates for this because, you've got to back your team, and I absolutely 100% I'll back my team. But you guys have had our number at our place this last, for it seems like about 100 years. It's painful. And I think I'm just going to go to sleep till the early afternoon tomorrow and just hope, God, we get 3 points. I desperately want to beat you guys tomorrow.
I mean, I have to say, one of my favourite recent football memories is 5-0 away at White Hart Lane. John Flanagan crossbarring in for the 5th. Doesn't get any better than that. John Flanagan crossbarring in. Were you there for that one?
Well, I had hair, I think, the day before. I remember it. It's a strange, hazy dream. I think that game, but it's. I
remember it vividly, so I'll send you the tapes, mate. I'll send you the video, just refresh your memory, mate. Thanks for getting in touch. Cheers, mate. We'll speak to you again soon. Good luck tomorrow, mate. Have a good one. He was nice. We like him. He can stay.
He's no Victor, though, is he?
He's no Victor. He's not quite Victor. Oh, God. Right, we're going to go to a quick break. We're still playing Kim, or Kim. We asked you which one of Kim Kardashian, Kim Jong-un, or Kim Kallström's favourite animal is a monkey. We'll reveal the answer in a few moments' time. Don't go away. Still confident it's Kim Kallström?
Definitely.
Kim Jong-un.
Right now, there's an amazing deal on super reliable BT broadband. Join today and get a massive 67% discount. It's £5 a month and a 12-month contract. You'll get a super reliable Wi-Fi connection, and when you're out and about, you can connect into the UK's largest Wi-Fi network for free. You can also get a £75 BT reward card when you sign up online by the 4th of August. Get BT broadband for £5 a month and on a 12-month contract. For new joiners discounts, call 0800 800 950 or visit bt.com/deals.
How would you like access to over 1,200 pounds of fitness programming free? Hi, my name is Carl Deichler, and I'm the CEO of Beachbody. You've probably seen our fitness solutions on TV, like P90X and 21 Day Fix. And now you can stream our digital library of fitness programs right to your computer, tablet, or smartphone free for 30 days. Just go to bod30.co.uk and get started losing weight fast. That's bod30.co.uk, and I'll see you online.
Get even more with the Sky Sports Bundle. More Premier League matches with 126 live games. 3 times more than BT Sport. And enjoy new goals and highlights on your mobile. Plus, get a free 32-inch LG TV and a Sky Plus HD box. So enjoy more this season with 126 live Premier League games, mobile goals and highlights, and a free 32-inch LG TV. Search Sky Bundles or call 0800 151 2776. Sky. Believe in better.
Welcome back to wherever you're watching us from on YouTube, Facebook, or Sky 212 as well. This is Fan TV, the show that football fans are talking about. Got a couple of Crystal Palace fans here on the lime green sofa. And before the break as well, we are still playing Kim will be playing it across the night. I asked you, out of Kim Kardashian, Kim Jong-un and Kim Kallstrom, which one of them, their favourite animal is a monkey? Lads, any ideas?
I'm going... It's got to be Kim Kallstrom.
It's got to be Kim Kallstrom.
It was in his Facebook, there's Football Manager notes.
Football Manager notes, you reckon?
Yeah, Kim Jong-un, I met him a few times, he loves a monkey.
You and Kim Jong-un are close, are you?
Like that.
Like that, yeah?
Yeah, so watch out what you say to me.
That's you and Kim Jong-un, that's you on top, that's Kim Jong-un at the bottom, right. Well, I can reveal that it is in fact Kim Kardashian's favourite animal is a monkey.
I'm surprised.
Tell we're Palace fans, can't you?
You can tell we're Palace fans. No knowledge whatsoever. I know what's going on. I can't imagine Kim Jong-un liking something as cute and cuddly as... I've got to stop insulting Kim Jong-un on this show.
He'll tell him.
Yeah, he'll tell him, especially, exactly. I shouldn't have been mean to his face.
My phone's vibrating.
We have got a Skype call ready. It's Susie Lattimore, a Crystal Palace fan. Hello, my dear. How you doing, Susie, all right?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm good, thanks.
Well, we've got a couple of Crystal Palace fans. I'm surrounded by them at the moment. We've been talking all things Crystal Palace. The first question I want to ask you is Christian Benteke. 45 minutes in the week. You happy with Christian Benteke?
Yeah, he looks good. He's.
Are we talking about? Are we still talking about his football here, Susie?
Yeah. He's the striker I think we've needed. He's a kind of a signing with guaranteed goals, I think, and he looked really good, and he needs to get his sharpness up, obviously, but early signs very good.
Why has it been a bit of a striker's graveyard the last few years? We've had a lot of players go there. We've talked about Fraser Campbell, Dwight Gale, Connor Wickham's shown glimpses of being a good player. Why do you think strikers do struggle at Selhurst Park?
It's a bit of a mystery because we're renowned for having really great wide play and wingers, and as much as there's much debate about the end product being quite poor, so that's could be the root of the problem. A lot of the time it's poor, but we haven't maybe aerial height, we haven't had a lot of headed kind of goals, but we've definitely been lacking in the final third.
Are there any more positions that you guys want filled before the season's over? Or any before the transfer window closes? Sorry, you want to sign any more players?
Left back.
Left back. Left back.
No. Get him off.
Get him off.
Won't invite him again.
Why are you so desperate for a new left back?
Soiree.
Yeah. No. What are your thoughts on a bit of Papa Soiree?
Well, contrary to belief.
So you smiled as soon as you heard his name.
His pace is second to none, so I think when you've got an opposition winger running down and everyone will think, oh, he's away, but no, within a few strides, Papa's up with him. And contrary to what you were saying, he's put in some absolutely great crosses. He put a great one in for Connor Wickham's goal at Valencia. But he does have some rash ones, I will, along with the good ones. But I think
his crossing is so good that Wilfred Zaha scored a header from it once.
Yeah.
Was against Shrewsbury, but...
That's amazing. Left back's done. I mean, you've been linked with, right? Loic Remy has been talked about, and also Super Mario Balotelli's been talked about. Would you take Mario Balotelli?
No.
You wouldn't take Mario Balotelli. So you're happy to have Papa Soiree, who's a bit of a laughing stock, bit of an entertainer. No one's more entertaining than Mario.
Yeah, but Papa does it with a smile on his face.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd rather have the Japanese
so
president dressed up as Mario than
you'd rather have him playing for Crystal
You'd
Palace.
rather have Kim Jong-un, mate.
Susie, do you want a bit of Mario?
I'll pass.
You'll pass
on the pitch, or?
I'll take Benteke.
Still talking about the football here. You're taking Benteke over Mario Balotelli. That's probably a good decision. So, I mean, going back to last season, a calendar year for Crystal Palace has been pretty hideous, let's be honest. There haven't been too many wins, apart from obviously Blackpool, middle of the week. When does this rot end? At what point does it stop?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Hopefully. Maybe.
Tomorrow. You feeling confident tomorrow? I mean, it's a huge game, is it? Not really. Not confident. Susie?
I can only hope, but I wouldn't be surprised if we messed up, but I really hope we don't, if I'm honest.
Is it too early for a 6-pointer?
Yes.
I don't think
drama
so.
queen.
I think this could, definitely for the next few weeks, I think this could...
Every year in the Premier League, we've been absolutely hopeless for half a season, and we've stayed up comfortably in all three. It's what we do.
So you reckon
Yeah, we won't start till Christmas.
You won't start till Christmas?
Why bother?
Yeah, exactly. We've got Liverpool fans in the studio shouting out, you do have the game against Liverpool.
That's a given.
That's your nailed-on 6 points a season.
Well,
so
we were that bad in the second half of last season. We lost to Liverpool.
That takes some doing.
It did on that day. You were down to 10 men and we were 1-0 up with about 10 minutes left.
I don't know why I keep going back to this, but were you at Selhurst Park on the Kristanbul night? I think it's because I like the nickname, Kristanbul. The 3-3 against Liverpool. Were you there that night?
Of course, the stand was rocking, as you said, and hugging everyone. You never met them before, but you.
I thought these guys are nodding. I think they recognise you.
Well, I've got an even better story on that. So I was walking out the game. I hadn't actually had a drink that night. And as I came out, I nearly tripped myself up with just the excitement, the shaking. And then this guy went, hi. I went, yeah, I hugged him. I thought, yeah, where do I know this guy? I couldn't string a sentence together, a bit like that. I thought, where do I know this guy? I suddenly realised it was a parent from a kid I teach at school.
Oh, really? You two were just hugging?
Just hugging. Hang on a minute, it's parents' evening tomorrow.
Was it awkward on the Monday when he was picking
that was a Monday night, so it was school the next day. And he goes, don't worry, I'll tell her it's silent reading tomorrow.
Good man, whoever you are, good man. Yeah. Right, expectations for the season, Susie, we've got to talk about it.
Well, after the flop of the second half of last season, you'd hope a comfortable stay up, obviously, but I'd say not too high, maybe 12th or something. 12th.
That'd be about the 4th best in our life, though, you know. So not great. I'll take that.
I'd be over the moon with 12th.
You'd be over the moon with 12th. Right, here's a question. Would you take 17th? Would you take one above the bottom 3?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah?
Because we're miserable.
Got to.
I'd take it, but I wouldn't be.
You wouldn't be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that'd be great. Yeah. We get to moan, we get to shout abuse. We'd be so miserable. It would be
actually.
Really
it depends
happy.
how the 17th is, because if it's last day of the season, relegation 6-pointer, and we win in the last minute, then that's basically an FA Cup final.
Well, yeah, especially as it's away at Old Trafford. So.
Susie, we're going to let you go, but thank you very much, and we'll speak to you as the season goes on. Thank you for calling us.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, my dear. Thank you. She was nice as well. I thought you two looked like that.
Sorry.
No Victor again.
She's still no Victor. Hi, Victor, if you're still watching, mate. This is what I mean. I mean, Palace fans do sometimes seem a bit negative that you would take 17th. I mean, you were in the FA Cup final last year.
Yeah, but 5 years ago, we nearly didn't have a club. And I'll probably get slated for saying that. People go, oh, you can't go on about it forever. But, you know, we're outside Lloyd's Bank with a very realistic prospect of losing our club 5 years ago or 6 years ago. You know, just to have a club is great. So to be in the Premier League, which most of our life we haven't.
I like it though. It's quite refreshing. I think all football fans have a bit of illusions of grandeur about where their club should actually be.
We know we're rubbish, don't we?
No, Crystal Palace fans are probably the only ones that are always expecting things to come in. I mean, look at West Ham, you know, they only came out of the Championship a couple of years ago. They're now expecting to be this superpower. And
yeah, they'll be that soon. Yeah. It's just the West Ham way, isn't it?
It's the West Ham way. Until
they win the World Cup again, second time.
Yeah. They've got the academy, so...
Let's talk about, do you get many players come through the ranks at Palace?
That's the one disappointing thing about being in the Premier League. So most of our lives we've had a constant supply of sort of 2-3 first-team players from the youth team. Sully Kaikai might get the odd game.
Yeah, Kaikai looks really good, but he's not going to get a chance.
Boateng played one game last year, and that's it for about four years now, and it's a shame. It's part of it's kind of what we've grabbed onto that we could boast about. You know, you're in the secondary school playground, and everyone's saying you're rubbish. We go, yeah, but we've got a great academy, and you boast about that. And we don't even really have that anymore.
It's the old Crew Alexander excuse, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
it's the problem with the Premiership now, because you could either give a youngster a go, or we can go out and spend 30 million on a player, which we could never do before. We had never had any money. So now, any youngster, they're going to have to be remarkable to even get a sniff.
But even then, you look at, so Klein wasn't supposed to play. There was supposed to be another young right-back. He wasn't rated by anyone. Klein came in because the other young right-back got injured. There was no one else. And he was the best defender and the best attacker in that game.
Yeah.
And then he went on, he's obviously now good player for Liverpool, plays for England.
Great player for Liverpool.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic.
We love Nathaniel, thanks for that.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. And then even Zaha, you know, until he sort of had scored a few goals in the Youth Cup just before getting his chance. It's only because there was no one else. And then he's really kicked on. And it's a shame, really.
Yeah, I remember thinking Kieran Cadogan and Kieran Jalali were better than him, and now they're in the Irish League or in non-league.
Yeah, so you never know, do you? Until they come up. Guys, we're going to take another quick break. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. We're still live, Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for tuning in and don't go away. Stick around. Cheers, chaps.
TV, the latest shows, and a Sky Plus HD box. Search Sky Bundles or call 0800 151 2775. Sky. Believe in better.
What? I'm so sorry, I thought you were a chair. Sorry.
Our breakfasts are freshly prepared, even if you're not. Like the all-in-one breakfast wrap. McDonald's. We make breakfast.
Our new free time plans give you free electricity from 9 AM to 5 PM on Saturdays or Sundays. So you can do the cleaning for free. Cook a family feast for free. Or catch up on box sets for free. So switch now and you'll get a free upgrade to smart meters and free electricity 9 to 5 every Saturday or Sunday. Switch now and start saving. Call 0800 980 4045 or search British Gas Free Time.
How would you like access to over 1,200 pounds of fitness programming free? Hi, my name is Carl Deichler, and I'm the CEO of Beachbody. You've probably seen our fitness solutions on TV, like P90X and 21 Day Fix. And now you can stream our digital library of fitness programs right to your computer, tablet, or smartphone free for 30 days. Just go to bod30.co.uk and get started losing weight fast. That's bod30.co.uk, and I'll see you online.
Right now, there's an amazing deal on super reliable BT broadband. Join today and get a massive 67% discount. It's £5 a month and a 12-month contract. You'll get a super reliable Wi-Fi connection. And when you're out and about, you can connect into the UK's largest Wi-Fi network for free. You can also get a £75 BT reward card when you sign up online by the 4th of August. Get BT broadband for £5 a month and on a 12-month contract. For new joiners discounts, call 0800 800 950 or visit bt.com/deals.
Welcome back to Fan TV. Just a quick one. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, I need you to refresh the stream for me right now. So if you could do that straight away. And you want to do it straight away as well because I'm excited about this. For only the second time ever, we're playing the game, What's the Peter Ramage? Exciting times. I'm excited about this. What's the Peter Ramage? There he is in all his glory, in his Palace kit actually. So the way this game works, right? We have scoured the country for some of the naffest footballing memorabilia out there, and believe me, there is plenty, right? And so we're going to flash up the items on the screen. I want you two, you're playing against each other, all right? We'll splash up the items. I'll give you the price of the first one, right? Of how much it costs. And then we need to know whether you reckon the next item is higher or Eric Dyer, or lower, or Leonardo Ulloa than the item before.
Brighton.
So without further ado, let's start this first round of what's the Peter Ramage, what's the damage, what's the first item? Look at that. Look at that. That is an AFC Bournemouth hard
Victor's
hat.
got one.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's going to be wearing that on Saturday. At 5 o'clock.
No, exactly, for the Palace game. I mean, if you work in construction and you're a Bournemouth fan, then this is the item for you. That's a very niche market that they've targeted. What do you reckon, lads? Would you have one of these if you were a Palace?
I've got two at home.
You got two of them? Yeah. AFC Bournemouth or Palace ones?
Bournemouth ones.
Bournemouth ones, yeah. We're going to give you the first prize. First one's on us, but how much do you reckon it is?
$8.99.
$8.99.
It could be a baby's one, couldn't it?
I think how many babies do you know working on construction site?
Quite a few, actually.
Quite a few.
How many don't you know working on a construction site?
He's mates with Kim Jong-un. He probably knows loads of babies working on construction sites.
I'll get anyone on side. I'll go £6.
£6? You both are way off the mark. I can see you've never done manual labour in your life. It's £25. This is an AFC Bournemouth hard hat. £6.
Must be vintage.
Do you have the sales numbers?
Do we have the sales numbers? I don't think they're flying off the shelves. I'm not going to lie to you. The first item of the night, the AFC Bournemouth hard hat. Why is there one of them? £25. Let's have a look at our second item. What's the Peter Ramage? That is. Can you see what that is?
What the hell is that?
That is a Rotherham Football Club Sky Remote Control cover.
Well, Neil Warnock said that's got to take some value off.
This is maybe my favourite item in the world right now. A Rotherham Football Club.
Oh,
so you put it over the Sky Remote. But when you're trying to tune into Sky 2 and 2 and watch a bit of fan TV, and you've got this over your remote, you're a Rotherham fan, how much do you reckon it goes for?
I saw Sky trying to flog them, and I was like, who would pay that amount? But can't be more than 25. I'm going to say
it's got to be Dyer. Lower. Whatever that is.
You reckon it's Leonardo Ajoa?
Yeah.
You reckon it's lower than £25? I can tell you, it is $6.99. $6.99. Leonardo Ajoa lower.
That's the first time I've celebrated.
$6.99 for a Rotherham Sky Remote Control cover. They're practically giving them away. It's a steal. It's a steal. I've got 10 at home on the way. Let's get
I can understand their sales more than the hard hat.
Yeah, I can imagine that more. At least you're going to watch the football with that. The hard hat, don't know what that's about. Let's get our next one. Look at that. Look at that. That is the Bolton Wanderers cat disc. Basically a necklace for your cat. Bolton Wanderers. So if you've got a cat at home called JJ Okocha or Stelios Giannakopoulos or Ivan
I had a guinea
Campo.
pig called Clinton when I was a kid.
I mean, I love that. This, the best thing was that one of our researchers beforehand, she goes, oh, I found a Bolton Wanderers, and I thought she said Bolton Wanderers cactus. And I was like, that's amazing, a Bolton Wanderers cactus. So now it's a bit of an anticlimax.
Spiky club.
Spiky club. There's been a spike in sales in the Bolton Wanderers cactus. How much do you reckon? Do you reckon this is Eric Dyer higher or Leonardo Ajoa lower than £6.99?
I reckon higher, because people love their cats.
You reckon higher?
Stupid money on it, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Eric Dyer.
But it's going to be Eric, isn't it?
You reckon it's tat but higher?
Yeah.
I can tell you, it's £4.99.
Oh,
lower.
bargain.
It's a steal. That is a bargain.
I'm going to have to buy a cat first.
It's £3.99. Correction. It's getting cheaper by the minute. By the end of the show, they'll be handing them out for free.
It's a flash
It's just
sale.
been reduced. It's on sale. It's on sale. Let's get our next item. Look at that.
Higher. I'll pay £100 for one of them.
I'll go with your Bournemouth.
Look at this. The Crystal Palace tape measure. It's so you can measure how far over Benteke's head Wilfried Zaha's cross has gone.
Or how far away Damien Delaney was. You know. Yeah, no, I'd say higher because, you know, that badge is quality. It's
the badge
quality.
instantly puts a premium.
Wherever you go in the world, if you get a recognised mark like that, it adds value. So
That's
it's like Gucci or Versace, isn't it?
It's one of those synonymous with class.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And if you get that for under £2,000, you're lucky.
I'll rip your hand off. Sorry, how much is that? How much is this one? Oh, what do you reckon? Eric higher or Leonardo Ajoa lower than £3.99?
Eric.
Yeah, got to go higher.
£7.
We're starting to predict prices now. He knows every item in the Crystal Palace.
I'm going with £7.1.
£7.1. I can tell you, it's £4.99 for that beautiful Crystal Palace tape measure. So it's higher. It's £1 higher. £1 higher. Are you guys drawing at the minute?
Yeah.
It's because you keep going for the same answers. Doesn't help. It's half a chance.
He's copying me, isn't he?
Can we get our next item, please? What is the Peter Ramage damage on this, right?
What the hell is that?
So imagine this, okay? Your cat's walking around. It's got a Bolton Wanderers necklace on. Meanwhile, the dog is walking around in this fetching Stoke City jumper. Look at that.
Cat jumper.
You don't quite know what to make of it. This is a dog jumper.
Will it?
It's not a cat jumper. They're not crazy, all right? They're not weirdos at Stoke. It's a dog jumper. I don't make jumpers for your cats.
Does the dog start lunging around in sort of two-footed lunges as soon as it wears it?
Yeah, it just goes in two-footer on Aaron Ramsey. Yeah. What do you reckon?
I mean, it's probably higher, but because of Palace, I'm going to go lower.
You're going to go lower?
Lower, because that doesn't have a Palace mark on it. It doesn't even have a Stoke City badge. Someone's made that. Someone's nana's knitted that.
Someone's nana has knitted that. It looks very budget. Also, is it one size fits all of another legend as well?
Oh, yeah.
But does it fit on all dogs? That can't, isn't it?
I mean, if you've got a poodle and then you've got a Great Dane, they're probably going to be different sizes, aren't they? Right.
One's a duvet, one's a crop top, innit?
What do you reckon? Eric,
I'm going to be a traitor and say Eric.
I'm going to go lower purely because the last one was Palace, so it should be lower.
It should be lower. I can tell you it's £15 for a Stoke City dog jumper. Who's spending £15 on that? Our next item, I think this is my favourite item that we've got. What's the Peter Ramage damage on our next item?
Priceless. Isn't there a hammer somewhere in the studio? Does he want to pop his ace in? To be fair, they went to Vauxhall Astra car studios last night.
Well, this is amazing. So this is the West Ham United European Tour football shirt. Obviously, knocked out of Europe last night. We've got a hammer waiting in the wings. You'd have one of these, would you?
Is it the wings of that plane?
You would have before yesterday. I mean...
So I quite like to say I'm friends with a lot of Brentford fans, and they've actually got Brentford European tours for their pre-season friendly that they went on.
That's a low point when you consider that. Yeah, we're back in Europe again this season.
You know Leipzig, East Germany, back end of nowhere. Yeah, it's about 50 miles from there.
we got friendly.
It's in a farm.
What do you reckon? The last one was 15 quid. Eric Dyer higher or Leonardo?
Well, I reckon the Gold and Sullivan are absolute con merchants. I reckon they'll charge higher.
Is the price yesterday from yesterday or
this
today?
This is the current price.
Current price, low, gotta be. Yeah, slashed.
Yeah.
$1.99 on the 5 that was sold on Amazon, you know.
I can tell you, it is lower.
Yeah.
It's $14.99. It's 1p lower. 14. Who's still buying those? There's a warehouse somewhere with 1 million West Ham United European.
Well, for next year when they lose to Aston Martin or something, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And look at this. This is seamless. Now we have a Skype caller on the line. He's a West Ham fan. It's Josh. Hello, Josh.
Hello, mate. How are you?
You seem
Do you have a T-shirt?
Have you got that T-shirt? Have you got $14.99 lying around that you're willing to spend on a West Ham United European Tour T-shirt?
Definitely not.
I can tell you're still devastated about last night. You're not the happiest man we've ever had on the show. What happened last night?
Just not good enough. We could have been there for another 90 minutes and just couldn't have scored.
I mean, everyone's going to ask questions. It was quite important with the new stadium. You got off to a flyer. That hasn't happened. What did you think about the atmosphere last night? Do you think it's affecting performances?
The atmosphere is dreadful. Is it affecting performances? No. Only the team can affect the performances. But the atmosphere generally is god-awful.
Really? Not happy? Reports of West Ham fans fighting amongst themselves again last night as well. Same reports over the weekend at Bournemouth. What's going on? Can't you guys just get along?
Well, there was a lot of away fans in the home end, so I'm wondering if it was that other than what other people are saying. But if it is, I don't know why they just can't leave it. It's not something you want to see your own fans do in your own ground.
Were you at the game, or have you been to the stadium yet this season?
Yeah, I went to the game the second time.
And it was really wasn't good, the atmosphere. What was getting out of the ground like as well?
Oh, we left early, so all right.
Ooh. Probably a good decision. Do you still wish you were at Upton Park?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? What do you think? I mean, it's a tough one. As fans, I love Selhurst Park. Awesome stadium, throwback old stadium. But you wouldn't mind playing in the Olympic Stadium, would you?
I'd stay at
If you
Selhurst.
could fill it, you'd stay at Selhurst.
I get why the clubs have to move, and realistically, if there was, they talked about going up to Crystal Palace and building a big stadium there. And, if it was possible, it was great, and I think the club would have to go for it. But I think, like you said, Upton Park has a good atmosphere, you're close on the pitch. You look miles away. I mean, did you have your binoculars last night? I just think as a fan's experience, they're proper, not your prawn sandwich brigade, but fans who like to go.
Yeah.
You want to be in the atmosphere. I went West Brom away last year, I was in the box. And I hated that, to be honest, because you're just away from the action, you're not in the crowd.
Yeah.
Part of it is, you almost don't care about the result. You just go and have a laugh with your mates and a sing-song and
half-time cheers.
Also, the bubble machine, was the bubble machine out last night? Have you seen it? They haven't brought enough bubble machines for the new stadium. When at the beginning of the game, it's the most pathetic amount of bubble. In fact, we have our own in-house. Look at this. Look at that. That is...
they're going like West Ham's European Tour.
This is honestly better than the one at the Olympic Stadium. Josh, what do you think? I'm going to turn this off because it's excruciatingly annoying.
It's generating a better atmosphere than a London stadium.
Josh, mate, we are going to keep you on Skype. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk more about Europe last night. I can tell you're excited about that. Very quickly, We just did What's the Peter Ramage. We were talking about NAF footballing memorabilia. You've written a book.
Hey. I have indeed.
Here we go.
Little plug.
Plug it.
Shower, lower.
This costs a lot more than a Bournemouth hard hat, I'm telling you.
Honestly, tell us all about it.
So, yeah, basically in 2009-10, I decided I was going to go to every game, home and away. And the season sort of starts off just trying to tell the story of a football fan, going around the country, getting drunk, you know, stories you meet people, you have a laugh. And then obviously halfway through that season, we went into administration. And we were faced with a real prospect of losing the club. And suddenly every game, and it got to the point where the new owners who eventually bought it were the only people who were willing to buy the club. And they sort of said, you know, if the club goes down, we can't afford to buy the club. So basically, if we got relegated, then the club would cease to exist and we'd be like AFC Wimbledon, have to come back from the bottom. And obviously, at that point, I changed from just telling silly stories and getting drunk and basically tried to unpick what it means to be a football fan and why, for all of us tuned in today, why football's so important to us. I don't know how well people know the season, but we ended up playing Sheffield Wednesday on the final day. And if we won or drew, we stayed up and they went down. If they won, they stayed up and we went down. And it was the most horrible experience of my life going up there. It was absolutely terrifying.
It's a lot coming from a Palace fan.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's why I don't think I can really take, you know, if we get relegated this year, we get relegated. But that season
puts things in perspective.
Puts it into perspective, not having a club. And it was such an incredible season, and it really did make you feel in a way you've never thought before. What if we had no club? You know, getting relegated, being rubbish. Kind of, we've dealt with that. We've had to deal with that. It's not been pleasant, but you know, you get over it. So to get to a point where you really have to think, why is a football club important for you? And you think about the history. You think about where, like, you know, it's a family thing. You think about it's a friendship thing. You think about, you know, the one consistent, you know, getting to a cup final. When we lost the cup final, I actually could deal with that because I could stand there, I could just clap and be proud. When we took the lead, I really couldn't deal. I collapsed in tears. And it really was, you know, how many things, if you think of your life, for the last 20 years, I've wanted the same thing, and that's Palace to be successful. Other things you want, they come, they go, you achieve them, they move on, you know. But your football club, it stays that consistent dream that you kind of wish for. And so this, to be honest with you, I always had this story, because, you know...
They say that teachers have too much spare time.
Well, funnily enough, you know, this was actually... I was due to go to Australia to live for a year, and I was due to go to Brazil for the World Cup. And so I basically had no money, so I couldn't go out. And I started typing as a hobby, sent it to a few people, they liked it. And it got to the point where someone told me about self-publishing, and I thought, well, you know, it doesn't cost me anything. If I can shift 200 copies, great. I've currently sold 2,000. It's still selling at over one a day. The Palace Addiction.
Awesome.
And yeah, it's just basically about your everyday football fan going around the country. And what's really pleasing, actually, so on Amazon, the reviews, I've had loads from Palace fans, unbelievable feedback from Palace fans.
And only about 90% of them were written by James.
But no, the thing that's amazed me, and God knows what's wrong with these people that have got hold of it, but there's loads of reviews from non-Palace fans going, you know,
really?
I was given this book by a friend, or, you know, recommended by a friend, and I've actually enjoyed it.
We talk about you being, you know, moments away from ceasing to exist as a football club. This is what I mean about... Is it unfair of West Ham fans to complain about being in an amazing 60,000-seater stadium, and you were briefly in Europe as well this season? Do you sometimes forget that you were in the Championship a couple of years ago?
We've earned the right to moan.
You've earned the right to moan.
They won the World Cup in 66, didn't they? They're a big club, unlike us, you know. Little old Palace.
What are West Ham going to do this weekend? How do you feel? On the back of a European hangover.
I'm not confident, put it that way.
You don't strike me as you are. Thank you, mate. Thank you for calling us, mate. Good luck over the weekend.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. We are going to take another quick break as well. First, though, we're playing another round of Kim or Kim. The clue here is, out of those three, Kim Kardashian, Kim Jong-un or Kim Kallstrom, which one of them says their favourite Premier League team is Arsenal? It's got to be Kim Kallstrom, isn't it?
No.
No?
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un.
No, he's a Palace fan.
Are you arrogantly trying to claim Kim Jong-un as a Crystal Palace fan?
I've actually seen football fans chant Kim Jong-un's name.
Oh, really?
I saw North Korea against Iran in the Asia Cup in Australia last year.
And it's all the military.
And the military were there dancing up and down.
Well, it's always nice to go to a derby, isn't it? We're going to take another quick break. Toby Tarrant here. We're still live on Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube. Stay with us, and I want to hear more about this Kim Jong-un story. You went to North Korea.
At Marbles, we work hard to accept you and put you in control, even if you have a poor credit history. Answer a few easy questions, and our Fast Check service will tell you if you're likely to be accepted. You'll get an instant response, and it won't affect your credit rating. Marbles' free SMS alerts could help you stay in charge of your spending, and you can change your monthly repayment date up to twice a year. Marbles' Classic Card has a manageable credit limit from £250 up to £1,200. So get your application rolling at marbles.com today.
Game of War. Play for free on the App Store.
At Glasses Direct, I chose from hundreds of frames from £25 with lenses.
They're great.
Try 4 pairs at home for free and see if you could save at Glasses Direct.
What about car insurance? Imagine this fantastic website where you can check out a shed load of companies.
Be fantastic, would that?
None of those annoying pop-up adverts.
Nothing fantastic about them, Boris.
The exact right quote in minutes.
Fantastic is the word, Boris.
Go compare. Enjoy your wheels, fantastic deals that you know where. You'll soon discover your ideal cover. Nothing quite compares to Go Compare.
Fantastic!
Welcome back to Fan TV. The more observant of you may have noticed we've lost a fan. Was it something I said?
Yeah.
yeah, it was. He's actually popped to the loo briefly. He was like, "Can I go to the loo?" The thing is,
professional outfit.
Is he's still got his microphone on, so we can hear whatever you're doing in there. Oh, he's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Here we go. Tap him in, boys. Tap him in. Come on.
The first live key of Fans TV.
Come on. Did you wash your hands, mate?
Yeah, I did. I was on the phone with Kim Jong-un.
Oh, yeah?
He's not happy about the show.
How is he? How is he?
He's livid.
He's not happy? He's not a fan of the show?
Not at all.
He's not enjoying the show?
He liked it until today, so stop slagging him off. It's the message.
Sorry, Kim. Sorry, Kim. He's so sensitive, Kim, isn't he? Shall we get another fan on? This is our man, Mark North, friend of the show, and involved with United London FC. Come on, Mark. Come join us. Come join us. Thank you. I'm sorry to do this to you. Go on, squeeze in the middle.
He's got West Ham colours on.
A rose between two thawns there, Mark. You've been watching from the wings. What do you reckon about Crystal Palace at the minute? In a bit of a downward spiral?
Well, I can't really say too much about downward spirals, being a West Ham supporter.
We haven't lost many cars recently. You know?
No, exactly. I've been sitting there very quietly. And somebody should call Josh back, I think, as well, and give him the number for Samaritans, because I think he's very unhappy.
I was thinking that.
I'm worried about him.
He was there going, the atmosphere wasn't very good. I go every week. I go, yeah, I can see that.
That's why you've got to have a Palace attitude. We're rubbish and we like it.
Exactly, you've got to go down laughing. Where's the strangest place you've ever watched the football match? Because our friend here's got a great one. Where's the strangest place you ever watched the West Ham game? The Olympic Stadium?
Yeah, I was about to say.
No, to be honest, I haven't been there yet.
Oh, you haven't
I haven't been there. No, my Saturdays are taken up. So,
yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't fancy going last night because I kind of knew what had happened. So, no, I don't mean, just dodgy pubs, I think. Dodgy pubs. I'm trying to even think of some dodgy grounds, but there's nothing as dodgy as...
So speak to us, James. Have you ever watched a Crystal Palace game in a dodgy place?
Yeah, Millwall. No, I when I was in Asia last year, we played Aston Villa. And so it got to 3 in the morning. I was sat in a pub and there was a shark in the corner, as there is in pubs in Asia, I guess. Just going around its little tank. And then, I thought, right, it's 3 in the morning, Palace playing Aston Villa. I want to watch them. We've been rubbish for months. I hate the manager and we'll probably lose. But, we're playing Aston Villa. They're rubbish. We might win this one. We haven't won for 9 games. So I went on Phuket, to street, it's like Malia in Asia, basically. You wander up and down your bars and it's one that says, we show every Premier League game live. Went in, they said, yeah, we're showing Man U and Liverpool. So what about the other games? No, we're not showing them. Well, that's kind of contradictory.
Okay. Big fixture.
Palace Villa. so I went to next bar, show Liverpool, Man U, blah, blah. Eventually found a bar and they said, yeah, we'll show the game as long as you drink 4 beers. Okay. And you pay up front.
If I must.
So, 3 in the morning. I had to pay up front for 4 beers, got them drinking them. They said, you're the only person in here. They're playing loud, booming pop music. Just me sat there watching Palace Villa on silent. They said, we're going to close, So I went out and at half-time, I thought, right, loads of bars here. One will show Palace. Went in next door and they said, yeah, speak to the DJ, he'll put it on. So he's there DJing, he's got the remote, and he's changing the channels going through. They didn't have it. Went to
was it a Rotherham FC Sky remote control case? Yeah?
No, I think it was Burnley.
Oh, it was a Burnley fan,
It was a big Burnley area there.
Yeah.
I did come across the Burnley Supporters Club in North Thailand.
That's
another story. Anyway, so we going along, next bar, one that just had girls wearing nothing but a Man U bra and thong. I thought they probably aren't showing Palace. Went to another one. Every bar's got girls dancing on the film. I said, will you show Palace? So eventually one said, yeah, as long as you buy me a drink. I said, yes. And they sort of got my desperation. They said, and all of the bars said, yes, whatever, just put on Palace. We're losing 1-0 by this point. Benteke had scored, actually. Losing, getting frustrated. Then they went through the channel, they didn't have it. So luckily I hadn't paid. I went along, walking back, peed off. It started to rain by then. Only I could find rain in Thailand. wondering, like, raining. There's one place near the hostels. Looks a bit dodgy. There's a couple of bouncers on the door. I thought, I'll go in and have a look. I said, look, will you show Crystal Palace Aston Villa? I said, yeah, we'll try. So they took me into his control room. They found the game, put it on. Said, but you must buy a drink. Yeah, that's fine. Go and get a beer. Right, drinking my beer, and suddenly, girl comes and sits next to me. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm watching the game. Suddenly realised, there's bouncers all round, there's naked ladies all round. I'm in a brothel.
Oh, it's the Michael Owen klaxon. This is my favourite part of the night. That basically means the people in the gallery are bored of your story. If ever it gets boring, you just flash up a picture of Michael Owen. I'm sorry, you've been Michael Owen. You've been Michael Owen. So the long story short is you watched the Palace game in a brothel.
I did, yeah. And I spent the entire game trying not to get too angry, as the bouncers clearly wondered what the hell I was doing, not basically shagging people.
Was it a happy ending? Did you get a happy ending, the Crystal Palace win?
No happy endings anyway.
No happy endings inside all evening. Worst brothel ever. Mark, mate, West Ham last night. Palace fans, are you guys being unfair, moaning about your new amazing 60,000-seater stadium?
Well, we've got the 3rd biggest stadium in England, so we're obviously the 3rd. We should be finishing at the top 3 now. We've got a bigger stadium than Arsenal and Liverpool, so clearly we should be better than them.
Is that the thing?
That's the standard.
And you won the World Cup.
We did, yeah. I didn't want to mention it. I didn't want to, but you're right, we did, yeah.
Is that it? Is it the new stadium, does that bring added pressure to what the team now have to do on the pitch? Is that why the result last night's been...
No, we've just got some absolutely terrible players in the squad. Really, yeah. So there is the pressure, but we've got pay it out, and we've got
9 players out last night.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Andy Carroll, standard. But I'm a big fan of Andy, but we've got injuries and we haven't got the depth of the squad. So to be honest, you can always say this now we're out, but it is a bit of a blessing in disguise, to be honest.
Yeah, do you think that there's going to be a bit of a bedding in period to this new stadium? That's why you kind of need instant results so everybody stops talking about the brand new stadium.
Yeah.
Would you accept, the whole thing now is the financial stability it brings and blah, blah, blah. Would you accept a few years of maybe a bit of mid-table obscurity and a platform and just hope that a few years... Because, Arsenal haven't done a lot since they moved to their fancy new stadium.
Well, 2nd in the league. A lot of people don't like Wenger, but he finished 2nd in the league. I'd take that, no problem at all.
I'm sure you would.
So, I think we will. I think we will be top half, but, sort of flirting on the Europa again. And I think that's kind of what we have to expect. with the chairman going out and saying we've got an absolute shed load of money to spend, and then trying to buy players and wondering why everybody's skyrocketing in value. It's I mean, they're not
fair play
switched
to him.
on.
Did you see the pictures of him doing transfer business from his hospital bed?
He woke straight up and got on the phone. Yeah.
So David Sullivan's just had like open heart surgery, and his son tweeted a picture of him lying in the hospital bed. Apparently, he's basically just come round, and he's on the blower, organising transfers straight away. Does that not worry you that you've got a chairman pumped full of Novocaine and morphine making all your transfer decisions?
Well, he's just signed the Italian striker that takes penalties like the river dance. So it's a bit of a strange one, really. So, but no, he's done well in Italy, but he's got a transfer.
Here's the picture. Here's the picture of David. Look at him. Look at those socks as well. Can we get them on What's the Peter Ramage as well? I like the look of those socks.
That's dedication.
That is dedication. That's what you want from your chairman as well.
I do love the chairman. I think they're great characters, and they've obviously done tremendous for our club, but or for West Ham, not our club.
Yeah, you love the chairman. I mean, you guys, you got to love a bit of Steve Parish. You got to love your chairman.
I mean, to go from administration to where we are now, it's been fantastic. Need to look a little less like Simon Jordan. That's always be a bonus.
He's a Palace fan at the end of the day, but it's a bit worrying because now 50% of the club's owned by American billionaires.
40%. They can't do anything without Parish agreeing. So.
But you never know. We've started selling loads of players. You have to wonder whether that's a bit of their influence or not.
No, I don't think so. We've spent more than we've. We've just gone and spent 32 million as a striker at Crystal Palace.
They're doing a West Ham and arguing amongst themselves now, the Palace fans.
I'm here, break it up. Yes, you sat me here, wasn't it? Sit the fat lad in the middle.
You're much bigger than both of them. Transfer dealings-wise, you've obviously brought in a few players at West Ham, but is the most important piece of business you've kept Dimitri Payet?
Yeah, although I hear there's a 50 million rumour from Real Madrid.
Really?
And there's some West Ham fans saying that we should let him go at the age he is. But if we do, we haven't really got that creativity. Lanzini's very good. Valencia kind of needs to go. There's some players we've got that I think we could either ship out on loan or just get rid of altogether, really. But keeping Payet's amazing. He's the person that just galvanises everybody.
It's a tough one, isn't it? With the 50 million's a huge amount of money. He's 29, is he, Dimitri Payet and stuff? You can see the business reasoning behind it. The only thing I have, and you saw it when Liverpool sold Luis Suarez and when Tottenham sold Gareth Bale, you can't get anyone in as good as that.
No.
So what is the point almost in accepting them?
You buy two average players for that money. You split it in two and just buy two people that are squad players. What's the point? You need match winners, and he is a match winner.
These days, there's not a lot you can do with 50 million, surprisingly. 10 years ago, you could have bought the next Messi.
Now you get Townsend and Benteke.
And James Tompkins' right knee. You get that. James Tompkins as well.
What do you think of James Tompkins?
He's
good signing for us?
No, we liked. I think we like him. He's just a little bit too lightweight in certain areas. But as a utility person for us, he was great.
He got bullied by a League Two player in the week, but we're hoping he'll come good.
Yeah, he just needs to strengthen up. But no, he's great. West Ham fans love him. We don't wish him any sort of ill will going. He's not one of those things you think, oh, God, he's gone. But he's a West Ham lad.
He wasn't going to get in the team there. His first choice certainly this year, was he?
No, he's just. I think he's just a little bit too weak. He gets bullied a bit, and that's the problem. So that's why we actually started playing him on the right, and he did very well. Actually, he did a good job. And then Super Antonio came in, and he's a new West Ham legend now.
Will he stay at right back? So right wing, right back.
Well, he should play right wing. Every West Ham fan wants him right wing because he gets forward, he gets in the box, and he scores.
Good goal on the weekend to pop up.
He's brilliant.
Right back,
he just does that. He just floats in. Where's this guy come from? How did he get there? And he's just popping up. But we have such a right back problem that he just has to, unfortunately, just play there. But he still gets forward.
Yeah, exactly.
But then he just leaves us exposed occasionally.
He doesn't care. We're going to take a quick break. You're going to leave us, Palace fans. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are you going to? Can I keep?
Yeah, absolute present for your shelf.
Look at this, the Palace addiction. Thank you. Look at that. We'll put it up somewhere, pride of place. We'll. Maybe not that match annual that's behind me as well. We'll not get rid of David Beckham as well. Thank you for that. And thank you so much, guys, for joining us. Right, don't go anywhere. Stay with us. Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube. We're going to talk about United London FC as well in a few moments' time. And we'll have the half-time scores from the Championship when we get back as well. Stick around. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, chaps. Awesome
Cheers.
stuff.
Thanks
really
very
good.
much.
Thank you very much.
In the heat of the moment, condoms aren't your first thought, but withdrawal is not an effective way to prevent pregnancy. A study estimated that only 55% of pregnancies in the UK are planned. Visit the Family Planning Association online to get informed about all contraception choices and find one that works for you. This message is supported by Durex.
Our new free time plans give you free electricity from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays or Sundays. So you can do the cleaning for free. Cook a family feast for free. Or catch up on box sets for free. So switch now and you'll get a free upgrade to smart meters and free electricity 9 to 5 every Saturday or Sunday. Switch now and start saving. Call 0800 980 4045 or search British Gas Free Time.
With BT Mobile, you can get online here, here, here and here, and all over the UK with 4G and Wi-Fi hotspots in more places than any other mobile provider. Better still, if you have BT broadband at home, it starts from just £5 a month with 500 megabytes of data. Or you could get 2 gigabytes of data for just £10 a month. Or even a huge 15 gigabytes of data for £20 a month. Anyone can get the great deal with BT Mobile. With 3 SIM-only plans to choose from, you're bound to find the one that's right for you. Call 0800 234 6543 or visit bt.com/SIM-only.
These thermal goggles make it easy to see why now's the perfect time to fit Everest triple glazing with Price Rewind. Fit the best. Fit Everest.
Welcome back. We are across all the games going on tonight in association with Sport Lobster. I can tell you that in the one championship game tonight, it is coming up to half-time. Burton Albion are winning that derby against Derby County 1-0 as it stands at the moment. Kilmarnock are 1-0 up against Rangers back in the Premiership. And Bayern Munich, surprise, surprise, 2-0 up at home to Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga. We're here with Mark from United London FC. Mark, we've not actually met. You've been on the show a couple of times with Justin, who does Tuesdays and Thursdays, but this is the first time we've come face to face. Thanks. Was it something I said?
No, well, I was just recruiting Justin, and now hopefully you've signed up. So. Yeah,
exactly. Well, I was on the website this morning. So to explain to people that don't know how United London FC works, it's an awesome idea, this.
Thank you.
It's your idea. I have to say that.
Yeah,
no, but it is. I genuinely love it.
Yeah, so basically, it's the easiest way to think of it is Football Manager in real life. So we have no manager, so we don't employ a manager, and we've got a squad of young, hopeful players. Some of them are kind of ex-academy that want to get noticed and struggle to do that in non-league. So I came up with the idea to set up a football club where fans log in and vote, and so they have ultimate power over who plays. And we use social media and lots of other kind of avenues to promote these players, and then hopefully they'll go on and get signed. Funny enough, we had 2 calls from League 2 clubs this week actually, to say they head to recruitment to say we'd be interested in having a look at your players and the stats. So we're getting some recognition, which is great.
Really? So there's no jealousy that you want to hang on to your players. You want to see these boys do well.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough thing. So we don't want them all to leave at once because then it'll be an absolute disaster, and I'll have to get my boots back on, which would be bad, very bad. But no, the aim is really to move them on. So we're not kind of tying them in. We want people to come in and say, they're a good player. We've watched the videos because we're filming all the games, and through all the games as well, we're producing stats. So it is like a football management game.
So your involvement, you're kind of the judge, jury, and executioner. You are United London FC in many ways. What do you do? What do you do over there?
It's the glamour of the chairman title, but washing the smalls on a Sunday. So it's every job and in between. It's sales, marketing. It's kind of everything. It's all encompassing. So it's grassroots where you just have to get involved, roll your sleeves up.
And what's your background? You were involved in football before?
I played at such a bad level. I think I was your typical sort of rugby player trying to play football. So your typical sort of, I love sliding and hacking and just tackling people. That's all I cared about. So my heroes were, Julian Dix and Paolo Maldini and Costa Curta and that Milan back four where they just crunched you. Perfect.
That's the old hardback.
Yeah, that's my sort of style. I could never play at this kind of level.
What is the state of grassroots football like at the moment? Is it still? I think in many people's head, it's still a fat bloke who's hungover from the night before, who's got 2 left boots on, or is it? Is that a bit harsh, or is there still a lot of that going on?
There's a lot of that goes on. Yeah, not in our team, luckily. So we've got Saturday League, especially at the likes of Hackney Marshes, where it's 82 pitches there, and so the quality of young players in London is very big, very good. But then there's the Sunday League side as well, where it is, everyone just goes out on the smash on a Friday and they roll up, have a fag at half time. Some of them have a can. It's kind of, sort of proper grassroots. But there's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, it seems such a shame. There's so much money going in at the top end of football right now. Are you seeing much investment in the lower leagues?
No, unfortunately not. So I think it's from last year, and I can't remember the exact stat, but from last year to this year, the Football Foundation kind of handles that money that goes in at the top end and should filter down, but it just isn't. So the facilities are poor. I mean, we're still looking for a training venue now, so we're training sort of on grass pitch, but we need a floodlit pitch on a Wednesday, if anyone's watching.
Yeah, exactly. No, seriously, if you can, exactly.
We're really struggling to kind of find somewhere because there's just not enough venues, and they're really expensive. So if you're playing on a pitch and you've got your training venues as well, it's over sort of 250 quid a week just for that. For grassroots, it's a lot.
So talk to me about some of the players as well that you've got on the books there. I mean, what sort of standard, what's the top end? Have you got rejects from some of the big boys? And
yeah, we've got somebody who's been at Stoke, sort of youth team. Arsenal, we've got a chap, Tarek, who played for, I think, under 16 Turkish national side. But we are still looking at players now. We've got our next pre-season, and we've still got lads trialling in that. And we are still looking for an out-and-out striker, and defensively, we kind of need to shore that up as well. So we'll look through players through the season because naturally we'll have turnover. Where hopefully teams will come and see them and just say, tell me more about that person, I want to sign them, and they'll move on, and then we'll just naturally turn over players. And that's where fans can really get involved as well, because we can say, OK, well, our right back's gone, so we need a new right back. Here's 3, put that on Twitter with a video of them, and then managers.
So the fans can even sign the players for
absolutely,
the club.
They can have a real say in that as well.
I love that. I love that. What's the schedule like? If you're a player for United London FC, what's the schedule like?
Well, it's just the training and the matches on a Saturday. So we just have, obviously we're part-time, we're an amateur club at this point. So we're not even allowed to put them on an FA contract until we win until we go up, win this division, which hopefully we will.
Yeah.
They're very tough divisions. It's not an easy one to get out of.
Which division are you in at the moment?
Essex Alliance Premier League.
Essex Alliance Premier League.
Yeah, so there's some very good teams. The team there, Chingford Athletic, or Chingford AFC, won the division the last 2 years and won the cup 3 years in a row. But they're still there just because they can't find the facilities to move up.
So is this your first season you've gone straight into the Premier League? And have you not rubbed up a few people the wrong way by doing that?
We have, actually, yeah.
Are you the team that everybody wants to beat?
Well, absolutely, because we're filming all of our games as well, nobody's going to want to lose on film. So we'll film our games. The highlights will go out to all our managers and across social media. So nobody would want to get beat by us. So all our players have to get step up. And they kind of know that, so they can't rest on their laurels. I'm not saying we're the Man U of non-league, we're nowhere near it, but...
you do a bit of a target on your back, I'd imagine.
We do, yeah.
Honestly, go check out the website. We'll put the link up along the bottom here as well. Go check it out. I was on this morning. It is proper, I mean, it's fantasy football, really. You know, you pick the players based on what you see and they get points for everything they do. It's an amazing idea. Completely your brainchild, you came up with this?
Yeah, watching X Factor.
Really?
So sat there thinking, why is there no voting show?
Very brave man to admit that you watch the X Factor on the manliest show going.
Well, this is the thing, because I sat there on a Saturday night with my wife watching TV, and on Saturday night you have X Factor or you have ballroom dancing.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, there's got to be something out there for men. Why is there no voting shows for men? And that's how the idea came about. And then I called up David Gold's office, because I'm a West Ham fan. I thought I'm just going to go speak to the top person I know in football.
Yeah.
He said, no, don't want to talk to you. So he sent me off to speak.
Did he?
Well, he referred me to the foundation. So I met with the chief executive, of the foundation. And he, so Joseph Lyons, we met up, chatted football. And it just kind of snowballed from there. So we met with various other clubs, Millwall, QPR, a few others like that. And they kind of like the idea because even they appreciate that when a player hits 18, you're not considered an academy player anymore. And so if you're not in the first team, you're out.
Yeah.
And so there's 700 players plus released each year, and the bulk of those are at that 18 category. So our sweet spot is 18 to kind of 24. And that's why the Phoenix comes from, is that it's the rising from the ashes, the second chance, and hopefully we'll give some players a second chance to shine.
I like that because there's so many that they spend their whole lives in academies from a young age, and they kind of assume they're going to make it, and they base their life around the fact that they're going to make it as a footballer. When they don't, it's so hard for them. So it's good for stuff like this.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do want to be seen as and a lot of people as well, sort of a lot of young kids, that if they don't make it to the league clubs in England, they give up. And the beauty of what we're trying to do is build an online fan base as well. So we've already got managers signed up across 5 continents. So it's not just a London-based club. So we've got managers in Argentina, Australia, USA, Switzerland and Italy, etc. So we would hope that some of those managers are other clubs. So we've already had contact from clubs in Australia and colleges in the US to say they'll be looking at our players and potentially they could take them there. So, don't give up. I would say to any young lad, don't give up if you don't make it in England. There's definitely opportunities abroad, especially with Asia, which is booming at the moment.
Yeah, I mean that's it. You can make an amazing lifestyle for yourself somewhere in the world playing football. It's not a bad gig.
Rather go to Australia than.
How far can this go? That's the thing. I was on it this morning. And I was going, this could be huge, couldn't it?
Well, I hope so, yeah. That's the long-term plan. So it is really to say we want to build an online fan base. So where, I guess, if you're Southend United, then you're really going to only capture fans from that area. So we're building an online fan base. So to give football fans a voice, that's something they can't get anywhere else. We hope to pick up a much wider fan base, and that would only then all these managers would then talk about these players on social media, and it's just all pushing the players out there.
What about in terms of footballing progress? How far can the team go? I mean, is there any sort of, supposing years from now you were talking about getting into the Football League, is that possible? Is that the dream?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do want to go as far as we can. So the FA rules, as we had to look all this up first, is that you only need to name, you don't need to name a manager, you can name a first team coach. So obviously we do have professional coaches, so they wouldn't pick the team, but obviously we would have, so Leon Constantine, who is a professional of 16 years, played for the likes of Millwall and Port Vale. He's one of our coaches. And another chap called Josh. So those guys would oversee the substitutions on the day. If there's an injury, obviously we need to have someone on the sideline who can do the tactics and things like that.
What about a bit of professional sabotage? This was what I was thinking this morning. I was thinking, if I'm playing for one of these other teams in the league and these boys have come out of nowhere, they're this fancy Dans and they're filming every game, wouldn't you look at the three left backs and there's one that's a Jimmy Traore figure and you go, he's in, I'm picking him. Is there anything to prevent that?
There's nothing to prevent it, but firstly, we don't want to have weak players in the squad. So everybody we choose has been vetted and they should all be at a fairly similar level.
Jimmy Traore.
Yeah, and even then, we do want some people to sort of change around. We don't want the same 11 every week. So you want that sort of natural change in the squad. But the volume of managers that we are looking to target, which is 1% of London's population, so our target manager sign-up is 81,000. And so if you're the chap on the team we're playing, you're going to have to get your friends, your family, all there. It shouldn't make much of a dent.
Is it tough with the coaches when they're watching training every week and they're seeing a kid playing really well, training really hard, really impressing, but they have no say at all? It could be completely out of your hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is. We kind of see it. There's certain players that, like in any football club, and this is the thing with managers kind of collectively voting. So, as an example, with Roy Hodgson, he took Wiltshire and left Drinkwater. How many other England fans would have made that decision? I think most people would have taken Drinkwater. Yeah. So collectively, you'd hope that everyone is a bit more sensible than just one person, and this is where you can't then blame the manager. You'll get to see these players, and the coaches have to treat everyone equal as we do.
It's going to be a strange one for the fans as well, not being able to blame the manager for a change.
Well, I can't sack them.
Exactly, you can't sack them. I love it. Awesome stuff. Make sure you check out that website. We're going to take a quick break, and tonight, as always, we are still playing Kim, Kim or Kim. The three Kims, Kardashian, Jong-un and Kallstrom. I told you earlier, one of them, their favourite Premier League team is Arsenal. I'll reveal the answer in a few moments' time. Don't go anywhere. We're still live on Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube. Cheers, mate. Awesome stuff. I love it. I genuinely love it.
Every now and then, it's important to give oneself a good old clear out, whatever that means. What? Uh-oh. No! I'll just keep it tea. A tasty cup of green tea. Delicious. Right.
Jacket. With 50 free spins to get you rolling, there's only one mobile casino that gives you that real Vegas feeling. Leo Vegas.
Gone to Vegas. Leave a message.
Join today and go to Vegas whenever you like. Leo Vegas, king of mobile casino.
Yes!
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 Ah, the sound of being accepted for a Luma credit card. At Luma, we've now said yes to 200,000 people. So if you've got poor credit, you could be accepted too. With credit limits up to £1,500 and no annual fee, at Luma, we say yes to someone every 6 minutes. So for a response in 60 seconds, go to luma.co.uk today. Luma, what would yes mean to you?
Yes!
What? I'm so sorry, I thought you were a chair. Sorry.
Our breakfasts are freshly prepared, even if you're not. Like the all-in-one breakfast wrap. McDonald's, we make breakfast.
Welcome back to Fan TV. Thank you everybody who's tuning in at home. The Crystal Palace fans have made themselves at home. You may have heard just the sound of beers opening while I was talking to Mark in the last bit. They just sat over there. Couple of beers and a bowl of Doritos. I don't know where they got the bowl or the Doritos from, but they've made themselves right at home.
6-0 now.
Right, we've got a Skype caller with us. We have a Hull fan. I think it's Luke Evans. Are you there, Luke?
Yeah.
Hello, Luke. How you doing, mate? The internet signal not too clever in Hull, is it? You're a bit pixelated there, mate.
Dial up.
Where are you? Where are you?
Adam.
Hello. Can you hear us, mate?
Yeah.
You can hear us. Whereabouts are you? Don't be afraid to answer the questions, then.
Yeah, I'm in Hull.
He's in Hull. He's in Hull. Who would have thought it? We were just talking about Hull. 6 points from 2 games. Did you see that coming?
No. God.
No. I mean, no manager. Mike Phelan's in charge of assistant manager. You've got about 13 players. It seemed like you were definitely nailed on relegation cannon fodder. Surely Mike Phelan, do you want him to get the job?
Oh yeah, certainly. He's done a great job at the moment. 6 points. 6 points. We couldn't ask for anything better going into an international break.
You've got Man United on the weekend, yeah. Mike Phelan's old club. Suddenly, you thinking you could get something from that game?
Yeah, I think us all fans would be happy with a draw, really. Get 7 points and then go into the international break.
I mean, it's a dream start, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Can you do a Leicester? I mean, you know, can you do a Leicester? We're 2 years away from Mike Phelan lifting the Premier League trophy.
What are the odds?
Yeah, what are the odds on Hull? It's got to be a 2,500 to 1 at the start of the season.
Yeah.
750 to 1.
You're confident. You're very confident. Honestly, what is a good season for you guys? Despite the start, would you still take 17th place?
Yeah, I'd take 17th place.
Do you
even going to the last game of the season? I'd take staying up.
Take staying up. Do you? What about your owners? I mean, we've got Mark with us here from United London FC. Oh. Where are you up to, Luke? There? You're right there, mate.
Put 50p in the meter.
We've lost him. Luke's gone. Oh.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh.
He's teleported.
Luke, what are you doing in there, Luke, mate?
Where
are you?
I have absolutely no idea what you're doing. Should we get rid of Luke, and if he gets better signal, we can get him back on? Cheers, mate. They haven't got internet in Hull yet. They're still mastering that.
Sounds like that.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody's winding up in the background. You forgot to put another coin in, Luke. But let's talk about them. I mean, they're pulling up trees. What's going on over there?
Well, it's one of those crazy things. I think people underestimate teams at the moment. So it's always funny at the beginning of the season anyway. If you're ever going to have these weird accumulators where big teams are going to lose, Liverpool, Burnley sort of thing. Don't want to bring it up. These kind of things.
It's been brought up a lot considering we haven't had a single Burnley fan on the sofa the whole night. I don't know why people keep bringing up the Burnley-Liverpool result.
Palace-Liverpool result.
The Palace fans are still getting involved as well. I've been bullied tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I've just got in my ear as well that we haven't revealed Kim or Kim. We went straight to Luke. Let's ask you. Right, which Kim do you reckon?
Kim Jong-un.
You reckon Kim Jong-un?
Yeah.
His favourite football team is Arsenal.
Sounds like that, yeah.
I can tell you, you are correct. It is Kim Jong-un. His favourite Premier League team is Arsenal. So there you go.
There you go. Palace fans lied. They reckon he was. I find it odd that people are arguing over. No, Kim Jong-un supports my club.
Oh yeah, you can have it. It's yours.
Cut Hitler open. He bleeds the Crystal Palace colours.
He's the only one who can afford one of their season tickets.
He is. Kim Jong-un is the only person that can afford. Did they have a North Korean player? Did they have that North Korean striker as well? You're our resident North Korea season ticket holder.
We had a South Korean.
No, but I did Arsenal.
Very different.
Did Arsenal?
Yeah. Don't start that one.
Yeah. No, I can in fact confirm it was a South Korean player, which is slightly different. Those guys are kind of at loggerheads every night.
Yeah.
The Hull owners, they've caused a lot of trouble since they went in there. They wanted to rename them the Hull Tigers and stuff.
Well, I hope it's that kind of American thing as well, isn't it? We're changing all the... Everything in America's got an animal to it. You're an eagle or a bear or something.
Yeah, what are you? Are you the Phoenixes?
Yeah, well, we'll go with that. We haven't actually quite nailed that one down yet. We need somebody to come up with a song for us as well. We haven't got any chant of any type, but there has to be a chant.
That's also. I'll tell you what. Anyone watching, get involved on Twitter, Skype @FanTVUK. Over the course of the season, we want to get some amazing songs for United London FC. Tweet us at FanTVUK. We'll work on that. We'll get some songs.
Yeah,
we'll get some players' songs going on as well.
Brilliant. Yeah.
And what's your surname? North. Mark North.
Yeah.
We can write. We'll make a song for Mark North.
Great. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
What about we're talking about the Hull owners and obviously the money men. So all your money comes from people signing up, does it?
No, it's free. It's free to play.
It's free to play. So where's the money coming from?
Sponsors. So
purely sponsors.
Yeah, purely sponsors. So we want it to be. We really want to kind of put that United into London. So where there are a lot of rivalries in football, so there is you've got your Man City and Bristol City, Bristol Rovers, these kind of things.
The two main ones.
Yeah, I was trying to think of some other big ones. Yeah, I was trying to think up there and down there.
No, I like it.
Forget it. So yeah, we want to. Yeah, we've got people signed up that are Arsenal fans and Liverpool, and we want to kind of be everybody's second club.
Yeah.
So we're never going to threaten. We're never going to take an Arsenal fan away from Arsenal or Liverpool away from Liverpool. But
I don't know, after the Burnley game, I'm thinking about
yeah. Well, I'm actually targeting Arsenal fans at the moment with the Wenger at the moment, but no. So I think it's one of those things. I think if we can, give football fans something a little bit different, and just hopefully engage with them, but also help these young players, and that's the kind of aim of it as well. It's kind of doing some good, really.
Yeah. No, it makes a lot of sense that it would be a lot of people's second team as well. Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking in my head the days where, are you imagining the dream days are going to be where people are gutted about the United London FC result over the weekend?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Well, hopefully not too gutted. We don't lose too many. More happy that the results.
Yeah, obviously you'd love to be delighted as well. But I mean, will it get to the point where people really start caring about your results? That must be the dream.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome to get a club that we want a kind of real community feel to it. So, as I say, with Grassroots, we're not corporate like the Premier League team, so we can have a lot of fun with it. So we can do fun challenges. We want to find as well something like the new crossbar challenge, some kind of challenge that we can kind of do as a squad. And I mean, when we was on here last week, there was a challenge in football in a training, and one of the guys lost the challenge, so he came on wearing a Superman outfit.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
If we can kind of humiliate the players and have some fun with that as well, but I don't mind. I say to them, if they win, I have a good win, and I have to look like an idiot. Then again, I'm not fussed about that.
So it's just all about that by now.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. West Ham fan, aren't I?
Exactly. How big is the squad of players you're working with?
So we've got about 25 at the moment, but we are looking for more. So we probably need around 30 constantly, because again, being Grassroots, there are times when these lads have holidays and family things. They're not rich paid footballers, so the working life sometimes gets in the way as well. So we need to have a.
Is there not going to be quite a few players not getting game time? Is that the one flaw in this?
There could be. So, but that's the beauty of being quite heavily social media led. So if you're a player that's not getting much game time, it's probably because people are not kind of finding out about you, or you're not kind of doing too much off the field. So you can just get on social media, start interacting with fans. You could do some VT, do some of your own sort of filming at home, doing Keepy Up Is in the Garden or something.
You might get a bit of a sympathy votes one week as well.
Well, hopefully showing some skills really, more than he's fallen over and done himself in kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, you referred it to the X Factor. There's going to be some violin story. Yeah.
Well, there is that kind of thing. So we've got a keeper that was at Leyton Orient since he was sort of young, but he freak accident. He took a goal kick, broke his pelvis, so he just twisted funnily. So he was obviously they let him go, and so we've kind of picked him up. So there are those kind of stories where these players, unfortunately, that's just the brutal truth of football. that the injuries do have impacts. But he's recovered now, so we've got him.
Talk to me about the standard in the league you're in as well. You said that's a decent amateur league that you're in.
Yeah.
How much nowadays? These kids are getting picked up at 9 years of age now, and they're going through the academies. Are there way less slipping through the net now? Do you feel? Are we going to get many Ian Wright stories? These guys that come up late, Jamie Vardy stories. Is that going to get less and less? Do you think?
Well, Vardy's the greatest example of that, really. But sort of Chris Smalling, even Yannick Bolasie, I think he was non-league before.
Let's leave Dwight Gale out of this.
Yeah. They just are.
The guys at United London FC have higher aspirations than being the next Dwight Gale, I'd say that.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, it's tough. Everybody's looking for the next Jamie Vardy. That's everyone would love somebody who costs nothing and goes on all that way. So they're near impossible to find. But a success for our lads isn't being Premier League standard. Maybe even if some of our lads got to conference level or League Two, that's a massive success for them. So they don't always need to go to the very top. Although also they could go abroad, as I say. So there's lots of opportunities elsewhere.
Yeah. No. And just one thing on the scoring and the way it works. So you get points on the fantasy football. Actually, I want to touch. Let's take a quick break and I'll ask you about this because I've got a bit of confusion about this. I'll ask you that. Right. We're going to take a quick break. Stay with us on Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube. We're going to keep talking about United London FC and everything football as well. Cheers. Yeah, I'll ask you about it.
I'm here with these thermal goggles to show you how much heat these old double glazed windows lose compared to Everest triple glazing. Look where they're leaking all their heat from. You'll see on the right side here, the Everest triple glazed windows keep it inside where it belongs. That's because their 5-chamber profile and extra pane of glass help make them Everest's warmest window ever. And they're now available at 1991 prices with Price Rewind. Fit the best.
Big is the word, Boris.
Go compare. Enjoy your wheels fantastic deals at you know where.
You'll soon discover your ideal cover.
Nothing quite compares to Go Compare.
Fantastic!
Growing strawberries is about patience and choosing your moment. When our strawberries are ripe, it's a race against the clock to get them picked when they are at their prime freshness. We can get these strawberries picked, dispatched and into the little store the next day. Well, most of them anyway.
Everest are rewinding selected prices back to 1991 with Price Rewind. So fast forward to everest.co.uk today.
Hi there, welcome back. Toby Tarrant here with you. We are across all the scores going on tonight in association with Sport Lobster. The one championship game, Burton Albion are still leading against Derby County at Burton. Rangers losing 1-0 in the Scottish Premiership as well. Bayern Munich 3-0 up now at home to Werder Bremen. And La Liga's back underway as well. Real Betis and Deportivo drawing 0-0 at the moment. I just wanted to ask you a quick one before the break. I was looking at how the scoring worked and everything. And I was thinking it's an odd one that, because when I do fantasy football normally with my mates and stuff, and I know that they've got a player and I hate seeing that player do well if I know I don't have him, it's going to be a strange one where I'm going to be watching United London FC, willing them to do well, but also dreading that certain players have a good game. It's quite an odd dynamic, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I guess football's about talking points. I think that'd be quite a good one. I think you can have a lot of banter with this internally. You will have your own favourites, like you do with any club. As a West Ham fan, everyone kind of loves Noble and doesn't like certain other players. I won't mention some, but everybody has a different opinion, and that will be the same here. But yeah, there is.
What about merchandise? Can we buy a United London FC shirt? Is that going to be in the future? Can we buy a shirt? Because what happens if you've got a player? We've all fallen in love with that random player on Football Manager or FIFA before. What happens if I've got a player for you lot that's scoring me points every week and I fall in love with the guy and I want his name on the back?
We'll sort that out. Yeah.
We'll sort that out.
Contact the club and we'll definitely get one. So Mitre are our kit supplier and they'll be supplying actually the Manager of the Month trophies as well.
Yeah, I should point this out actually. Yep. This is the... it's wedged in there. I'm going to break everything. I'm going to collapse the whole thing. I'm not touching it. In my ear, they're going, don't touch it. But you can win. So Mitre are going to sort out some prizes if you're the best manager of the month.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see where you kind of stand and your points table on the website as well. So we kind of want to build that into to see if you're the Mourinho or Klopp or whoever it may be. So so you can win one bespoke there. So it'll have your name on it, and we'll send that out to you. and you win some cash to spend on their website as well.
Awesome, right. Everybody go sign up to that. Right now, though, Mark is a West Ham fan. They're out of Europe, but finally some fans of a European pedigree. Let's get the Liverpool fans on. Here we go. It's Robert, and Sydney as well. How you doing, all right? You guys squeeze in. Guys squeeze in.
Will be all right.
Oh, it's happened again! It's happened again! It's happened again! You can lift it up. You can lift it up. Yes, it's always on my show. It's always on my show. Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Do you know, it's not your fault.
Good thing it's not live.
It is a good thing it's not live. Well, if you're ever doubting we were live, you know, this is the second time it's happened on my show, right? I'll tell you, it's not your fault. We had three. They're probably watching. Rather large, I don't think they might be saying West Ham fans.
Oh, it's always the West Ham fans.
It was the West
smashing the place up.
Yeah, West Ham fans, exactly. They're fighting amongst themselves at their new stadium. They're breaking our set, and it's never been the same since, really. It's never really been the same since. Yeah. Sorry about that, as your introduction to Fan TV. We didn't mean to nearly kill you there. Welcome. West Ham out of Europe, but you know what winning's in Europe about, don't you, as Liverpool fans?
Yeah. Well, not recently. But I remember.
It happened once upon a time. Yeah. How did you guys become Liverpool fans? How long have you been Liverpool fans?
Probably about, in around 2001. I was 9 at the time. In my country, I'm from Romania, they used to show like sort of all the foreign leagues, and they were doing features about every Premier League club, and they were doing a feature about the fans of every Premier League club. And being a small kid, I was like, oh, that's amazing. Them singing "You'll Never Walk Alone" and this and that. I'm gonna get into that. It just grew into me straight away, to be honest.
Have we ever had, I'm trying to rack my brains, for any Romanian players at Liverpool?
No.
Oh, yeah?
No.
I can't think of it.
There were a few at Chelsea, but nah.
Yeah.
None of them.
What about, you're sat next to Mark, the Romanian champions last night, Astra. Do you have a Romanian team? Please tell me it's Astra.
My Romanian team is Rapid Bucharest. Actually, they're not even registered in the league anymore. Financial issues. But quite a few of the players that used to play for Rapid Bucharest, they're like old-timers. They're now playing for Astra. They're actually a team that are struggling really badly financially. They're doing really. They will be struggling massively in the Romanian league. Leave alone.
There you go,
leave alone. So yeah, that was some.
It just keeps getting worse. That's just when you hear that the teams last night are going to really struggle in the Romanian league this season.
They've got some very good players, though, haven't they? Don't.
Probably for your club. I think 4 of them will be doing all right there.
Let's look forward to the weekend. Huge game Saturday, first kick-off of the weekend. Spurs away. How are you feeling about that?
Spurs.
We've already gone to North London once this season and taught Arsenal a lesson at their place. Can we do it again at White Hart Lane?
Big game, Sky Sports, early kick-off. I think the players should show up. But that's the thing about Liverpool. We don't know. It's one of these things. Every time I'm on fantasy football, I'm thinking I want to back my players, but you just never know who's going to turn up.
I'm exactly the same. I was toying with it, and I was going to put Sadio Mane in. Yeah. And then I had enough of De Bruyne, and I went, I know what I'm getting from De Bruyne. Do you know what I mean?
But I reckon both teams, we play similar type of football. I think we'd end up cancelling each other out. I can see if someone does win, it's going to take a bit of magic, hopefully from Coutinho.
Yeah,
but it's going to be a tight game.
It's, it's been a strange one. I'm never going to say anything bad about Jurgen Klopp. Let's say that as a disclaimer straight away. He's probably, apart from Slaven Bilic, probably one of the few managers as well that fans could not be happier with. But certainly since he's come in, there's been some amazing performances, and there's been a lot of rubbish ones in between as well. We're consistently inconsistent at the minute.
Yeah, that's the thing about Liverpool. But, getting Jurgen Klopp was a big coup in itself, and it reminds us, sometimes as a Liverpool fan, you forget that you're a big club. But suppose when you have Palace fans on the show and their claim to fame is a point at home against Liverpool, stuff like that reminds you that, we're still a big club. So attracting managers like Jurgen Klopp was a great thing, and hopefully he can replicate some of the form he had at Dortmund.
The players themselves are kind of microcosms of the club as well. Coutinho, Lallana, Firmino, Sturridge, all these kind of players, you never know which one's going to turn up at the minute, just like you don't know which Liverpool's going to turn up.
The thing is, we sort of turn up against teams that play football against us. We're normally all right when someone comes to play football against us. The only issue is when someone comes to defend for their lives. And this issue has been going since Brendan Rodgers' era, so it's not something new under Klopp. We always seem to struggle to open up teams. That's probably you know, I mean, we're sort of inconsistent, but you would bet on Liverpool on a big game, on a big night. Would you bet on Liverpool on a Burnley or Hull away? Never.
Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it? It really is. I mean, you look at some of the results on the Klopp, spanked Man City, spanked Chelsea, knocked Dortmund out the Europa League. I mean, that was absolutely incredible.
Remember Watford away.
Watford away, exactly.
Absolutely.
I mean, are West Ham sometimes like this? Are you sometimes guilty of? I mean, I think back to last season, Man United under the lights at Upton Park. Are West Ham guilty sometimes of turning up for the big occasions and forgetting a Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff's just as important?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they kind of think all these big games are the cup finals, and then we do just crumble against, I say, weaker teams. But I don't think there's too many weak teams in the Premier these days. I think it's becoming a bit more even. But the games you kind of would expect to win or get points at, and we just don't turn up. So you just have players go missing or just think it's a walkover.
I mean, Bilic at West Ham done an amazing job playing great football. Brilliant. He's pretty much untouchable, certainly at the moment. Yeah. It's an interesting one. Klopp signed another contract already. He's already extended the contract since he's been at the club. Signed for a lot of years. What happens if the league form continues to be very sketchy? Is Klopp untouchable? At what point do we go, hang on a second, we've got this guy for four years?
I think the Klopp contract was the owners playing it safe, you know. They finally found a manager who's a big manager, but it's not going to be too controversial when it comes to signings. He's not going to go out there and say, the club are not giving me enough money. So after what he did the first season, it made perfect sense for them to give him a long contract. It's the club playing it safe, really. In terms of if the league, I think he's still got another season. If we don't make it to Europe again, he's still got a bit of leeway because his name carries so much weight. I mean, even if you look at the signings that we've made, I know they're not exactly world-class signings yet, but you look at the likes of Mane and Wijnaldum, you kind of think, if Rodgers was there, would he have signed? Maybe not.
No, it's a very good point. He's a bit of a legend. We've got our first Broomer of the night, our first breaking rumour. Broomer, there we go. Palermo coming in for Mario Balotelli. Sad to see him go, pleased to see the back of him.
I'm sure
I would pay with my savings for a 1-year holiday just to see him away. If anything, I mean, it was always a gamble in itself. And at times, especially after the first game against Spurs, he was putting on quite a show, and people were like, this could work, but it was never gonna work, really. It was never gonna work. I mean, the guy's career is finished. He's only 26. Yeah. His career's, he peaked already. His career is done. I mean, there's nothing left there. As soon as we find someone to buy him, I've been hearing quite a few rumors about Nice in France going for him. I mean, they got beaches there. It could be a good area for him to go, have fun, do his thing. But we must keep him away from our club. Sooner the better.
The thing is with Balotelli, it's just that at Liverpool, every player gets a chance, and the fans are so loving. I mean, first week he already had a song. Fans were singing his name. And if you're going to come to a club like Liverpool, get your chance, get the fans behind you, and you still can't do it, then he's never going to make it as a top player, is he?
I mean, it's interesting because I remember when he signed, I was over the moon.
Yeah, so was I.
Because the dream is, I think this is why I asked you as a West Ham fan, as a neutral, you've never had Mario. But would you have him at West Ham?
No. But as a neutral, he's excellent to watch because he's mental. You don't know what he's going to do.
You never know what he's going to do next.
Would I want him at West Ham? No, he's poisonous. He's poisonous for a squad.
Because the dream is, you always think that like one day a manager's going to get him. They're going to talk some sense into him. He's going to be a 30-goal-a-season striker. And imagine if he was doing it for your club.
In his defence, though, Toby, he has improved. From time when he was at Man City and Liverpool, he has learned to put on a bib by himself. So that is an improvement.
Baby steps.
One thing is, I mean, a similar thing, but Ravel Morrison, talent coming out of his ears, but just poisonous to a squad. And I think they're just of the same ilk. It's a shame because they're both undoubted talent.
It is a shame, but like you say,
the thing with Balotelli is he didn't even showcase his talent at all. I mean, we were all expecting a nutcase to come and play for Liverpool. We knew what we were getting in the package, but we were expecting a footballer as well, and that footballer bid never really came. I mean, how long did we have to wait for his first league goal? I still remember it was that tap-in against Spurs.
The crucial goal.
I was at the Rose Bar in London Bridge, and his song was going going on for like half an hour, and we were all going after what a great song.
Mario Fantastico.
Yeah, we were all going, what a great song. Such a shame it's for such not a great player.
I remember the reaction, not only because he just scored a last-minute goal against Spurs, but how happy I was. Almost celebrated it more than any goal I can remember in recent memory, because
we back our players, don't we?
And you want Balotelli to do well.
I think all of us wanted him to do well, but he just never.
Do you think he'll ever?
Nah.
Ever?
I don't know who'd take a risk on him. He's just such a bad track record now over a prolonged period.
He might end up playing for you lot one day. You know.
Well, we need a strike, probably.
I am quite hopeful any of these rumors come true, because if no one signs him, I can see him being released.
Yeah.
I genuinely cannot see him staying another year around
the other
Melwood.
problem is there's certain players who you could probably get away with sitting on the bench for a season and they're not playing, but you don't want a Mario Balotelli moping around the training ground, do you?
I don't want him moping around anywhere. I mean, he's been training with the under-23s lately, obviously, and I don't want him there.
Yes.
I don't want him around.
Youth system.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't want him anywhere around. I mean, look, the guy must be a great guy. Hopefully he'll do well somewhere. I've got absolutely nothing against him, but he's not a Liverpool player. No. He never showed the desire, he never showed the hunger, and he never really showed the quality. So there's nothing left there. Let's move on, shake hands, that's that.
It's such a sad game. It's so sad, isn't it? It's true. I can't argue with anything you're saying. I want to, but I can't see a career for Mario Balotelli.
I mean, look at Divock Origi, yeah? Look at the way Divock Origi started last season. He came after being voted in the worst team in France. He started the season and he didn't look great at all. And he started the season as the last option, striking option. He was behind Sturridge, he was behind Ings, he was behind Benteke, even behind Firmino as a striker. And he just put in the work. I mean, the guy became a beast physically.
Well, to the point that I think he should be our first choice striker this season.
That's what I'm saying. So the guy started as a last option, and he's arguably probably the first option now. So that's how a player should take his chance at Liverpool.
Mark, at grassroots level, how often do you see that? Talented players with not the right attitude?
Yeah, I mean, it does happen a lot. And I think there's a lot of kids that do drop out of academies, not because of ability, but it is because of attitude. And I think, it's one of these things. You kind of get caught up. The young lads that get caught up in that lifestyle, they're better than all their friends at football, and then they think they're the bee's knees. And then when they play at academy football, and there's players like that around them that are professional, that arrive at training early and do all the right things, eat all the right things. Yeah, I think
they don't adjust well to that. Yeah,
absolutely. So it's something you just can't tell some people.
Yeah, exactly. You can't tell. Right, we're going to keep our guests here, and we are going to take another quick break. I've just seen the clue for our next round of Kim or Kim. You ready for this? Out of those three, Kim Kardashian, Kim Jong-un or Kim Kallstrom, right? We give you a clue. We need you to tell us which Kim you think it is. The clue that I've been given, this is no word of a lie, the clue that I have been given is which of these Kims doesn't poo. I don't know where we get these facts. But thanks research team for coming up with that. So we need to tell you which one of these Kims, Kim Kardashian, Kim Jong-un or Kim Kallstrom, apparently doesn't poo. I don't know. Get involved on Twitter at FanTVUK. I don't know. This show is quite literally going down the toilet, isn't it? It is. It's unbelievable. Every time I think we've hit rock bottom, we manage to then go, and it's crazy. Right, get those answers in on Twitter, and we're going to take a quick break. Doesn't poo. What's going on there?
It's got to be.
I'm here with these thermal goggles to show you how much heat these old double glazed windows lose compared to Everest triple glazing. Look where they're leaking all their heat from. You'll see on the right side here, the Everest triple glazed windows keep it inside where it belongs. That's because their 5-chamber profile and extra pane of glass help make them Everest's warmest window ever. And they're now available at $19.91 prices with Price Rewind. Fit the best. Fit Everest.
In the heat of the moment, condoms aren't your first thought, but withdrawal is not an effective way to prevent pregnancy. A study estimated that only 55% of pregnancies in the UK are planned. Visit the Family Planning Association online to get informed about all contraception choices and find one that works for you. This message is supported by Durex.
Engaging conversations and a shot at finding the one. That's why I'm on Elite Singles.
EliteSingles.co.uk for single professionals.
Game of War. Play for free on the App Store.
Don't talk to me about home insurance. I mean, wouldn't it be fantastic if there was some website
Fantastic, yeah.
where you could simply check out a whole bunch of companies and get exactly the right deal
Fantastic, yeah.
in a matter of minutes?
Go compare. Fantastic cover you'll discover when you're there. You know you order for your bricks and mortar. Nothing quite compares to Go Compare.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
With 50 free spins to get you rolling, there's only one mobile casino that gives you that real Vegas feeling. Leo Vegas. Join today and go to Vegas whenever you like. Leo Vegas, king of mobile casino.
At Luma, we say yes to someone every 6 minutes. So for a response in 60 seconds, go to luma.co.uk today.
Hi there, welcome back to Fan TV. Toby Tarrant here with you, and as always, we're across all the scores tonight. I can tell you, Burton Albion are still leading in the Championship, 1-0 at home to Derby County, and Rangers have equalised away at Kilmarnock, and Kilmarnock are down to 10 men there as well. Bayern Munich 6-0 up now in a pointless exercise of a league, that, the Bundesliga, isn't it? Lewandowski's got a hat-trick as well, which is about commonplace as well, isn't it? La Liga's got underway. Real Betis still 0-0 of Deportivo, and Espanyol and Malaga have kicked off as well. Let's go back to last night. I'm sorry. West Ham knocked out of the Europa League. We won't dwell on it, but I promise. But we really hammered home the point. Just to remind you, West Ham fans, if you're just tuning in, you are no longer in the Europa League.
Mickey Mouse
Liverpool ended up getting no European football whatsoever. Would you rather be in the Europa League or not?
No.
No.
No. That's
I
a
don't know.
definite no.
It's I said no last season as well. When at the beginning I thought not taking it that much serious, but when we got to the final, it hurt so much to get there and lose.
Don't get me
what
wrong.
I mean?
Dortmund was probably one of the best Anfield I've ever experienced.
Yeah,
it was absolutely
definitely.
amazing. Villarreal was amazing. Even the final, instead of playing the final, but all the road there takes so much out of you.
Yeah.
Takes so much out of the team. All them wintry games, playing away in Russia on a Thursday night, and coming back to play Premier League Sundays. It was never going to work. It just takes way too much out of you.
It's we touched on the League Cup earlier when I was talking to Crystal Palace fans. It's one of those tournaments, Europa League, where you're not fussed at the beginning of the season, but suddenly you start getting a bit further on, and then it became, I mean, like you say, last season, by the time it got to the, I think the Man U game really made it huge.
Coutinho's goal, by the way.
Yeah, it's disgraceful. Disgraceful.
Exactly. De Gea, quality keeper, sitting on his arm.
Exactly. That's it. I think the Man U game was when I suddenly went, I really want this.
But the thing is about the Europa League, now that if you win it, you qualify for Champions League. It makes it all the more prestigious, doesn't
Obviously,
it?
yeah, that's an extra incentive, but I still think it just takes too much out of you in an attempt to get there. And obviously, as I said, rescheduling all the fixtures for Sundays and stuff like that, I just think we're much better off it. Plus, how would you send your players a couple months after? Because if we were going to qualify to Europa League, we would be like in qualifying rounds. So you're going to send them a couple months after playing that final to some dodgy away in Kazakhstan.
Yeah. No, it's true. No. It's true. We have got a Skype caller. We're going to drift away from Liverpool and West Ham right now, but we have our Newcastle fan from Norway. Norway, man! Oh, Norway, man! Oh, it's the best joke of the night every time. Oh, he's laughing. He likes it. It's growing on you, that bit, isn't it?
Slowly.
Sorry?
That joke's growing on you, isn't it? You're laughing more and more every time.
Yeah. It's a very good joke.
Maybe not. How you doing, mate? How you been? Good to see you. Good to see you again.
All good.
Brighton on the weekend, huge game, that massive game in the Championship. What do you reckon about that?
Yep. I'm not quite sure because now we're without Mitrovic and Gale due to injuries, but at the same time Brighton aren't doing too well at the back either, so could go either way.
Last time I spoke to you, Newcastle had got off to a bit of an iffy start in the Championship. None of us were convinced. We were saying, it's a tough league to come out of. You've got no God-given right to come out of it. Things taking a slight upward turn now. You're starting to look a bit more like a Championship team.
Yeah, better. We're not as fluid as I'd hoped yet, but we've nearly bought a full starting 11, so I suppose it's going to take some time to get gelling.
Talk to me about the football that you are playing. We've got a couple of Liverpool fans here. Obviously, Rafa's over at Newcastle.
They still owe us about 34 million for Andy Carroll.
Yeah, exactly. When are we getting our money back for Andy Carroll?
It's 40, mate.
It was odd when Rodgers came in. There was all this talk about his philosophy and his passing football. I remember days under Benitez where we played incredible football. Real fast-paced, high-tempo passing in the final third.
Beat Madrid 4-1 under
Beat Madrid 4-1, played them off the park. Yeah. There was times where we were unplayable under Benitez. Any sign of that football starting to come your way at Newcastle?
Well, you can tell that there's a lot of possession football, but as I said, the fluidity isn't there yet. Lots of kind of start-stop games, a little bit involving referees at that level, but getting somewhere. But it's going to take a little while yet.
He's a manager that really involves himself in the club. When he finds the right club, he wants to really be a part of the fabric there. You guys loving him at Newcastle still? I know when I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago, you had nothing but good words to say about a bit of Rafa Benitez.
Yeah, it's even better. We won 3 in a row, so how can it be worse?
Would he? Do you think you could attract him enough? If Newcastle didn't go up this year, do you think you can keep Benitez for another season?
Well, he's signed on for 3 seasons, but of course it's kind of up to him. He seems in for the long haul, but it depends who comes in for him if we don't go up.
Well, so I want to get you as a West Ham fan. You've never had the pleasure of having Rafa Benitez as your manager, but I mean, we love him. Liverpool fans love him. The Newcastle fans, you can tell, have really warmed to him straight away. Chelsea fans didn't want him, didn't like him, but then he changed their minds, a lot of their minds by the time he left there. What's the kind of neutral viewpoint on Rafa Benitez?
I think he's a great manager. I think Newcastle have done very well to keep him, and I think he'll take them up. I think Newcastle have got the squad, definitely got the fan base. I mean, everyone, from a neutral point of view, thinks Newcastle fans are great, passionate. I think they've got everything, all the ingredients they need to go up, so I think they'll do it.
I genuinely don't think they're even considering the thought of not going straight back up. I don't even think they have a plan B for that, because they must be really certain they will go back up.
I mean, is that dangerous? Because the Championship, when everybody's going, Newcastle will come straight back up, it's such a dangerous league. It's a league where, teams could get relegated or promoted any season. They don't know what's going to happen until it really kicks off. Are you worried about that? Is there a mentality there? Are you worried about Newcastle thinking, we'll be going straight back up?
I think some would assume so, but I think the majority is a bit more realistic. But I think you'd have to try hard to find fans who are pessimistic. I think we've reason to be optimistic due to the signings we've done and who we have as a manager and the unity in the fan base and things like that recently. So everything is pointing towards promotion.
I almost think that opening result, losing at Fulham as well, was almost...
wake-up call.
Yeah, it was quite good for you in a way. It now looks like it might have been just what you needed.
Yeah, that one and the Huddersfield game as well was equally bad. So, but since that, we've taken some strides and done some work and got some wins.
Are you going to hang on to Moussa Sissoko? I mean, he's been linked with a few big clubs. I mean, I'd take him. I'll take a bit of Moussa Sissoko.
Would you
have him at West
Ham?
Ham?
Take him for 35 or 40 million?
Not for the money they're talking about. No.
Well, it's the sort of thing, you have a good World Cup and everyone thinks he's a world beater, but he wasn't good at all for Newcastle.
I mean, this is the crazy thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Prior to the World Cup, what would you have got him for? I mean, compared to the money he's got.
About 10, 15 at best.
He's been linked with Dortmund and Real Madrid since then. Do you think he's going to be there come September when the window's closed?
If he is, it's going to be because of a combination of the money we want for him and the attitude he's portrayed over the window. I'm actually very surprised Liverpool aren't paying 35 million for him. I don't know why.
Yeah, we do have previous for going to Newcastle and overspending, don't we? I'm here with Mark. I don't know if you've been watching about United London FC. It's run by the fans. Newcastle's almost a club that would suit being run by the fans, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you rather the fans were in charge than Mike Ashley?
Oh, yeah.
We're on a winning formula.
Is it? I mean, would you love him to just up and sell? But I mean, he's a Newcastle man. He's technically a fan, but is there no love for him whatsoever over there?
It's gonna take a while, at least, because he's done some pretty horrible things the years he's been here. So I don't know. I'd sell him.
I'd buy him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll take him. So we talked about being knocked out of the Europa League Cup competition. Briefly, I think we touched on it. Did we mention it?
I didn't notice that.
Do you care about trophies like cup runs at all this season at Newcastle?
If I care about trophies?
Yeah.
A Newcastle fan.
You've come this far without them. Why start craving trophies now? I mean, when you go down to the Championship, you've already got 46 league games. You're playing most midweeks anyway. Is a cup run just the last thing you need?
Depends. Our squad is quite good as it is, and we're still expecting 2 or 3 more arrivals. So a good cup run wouldn't be a bad thing. I think we'd be okay with it.
I guess it's like we were saying. It's one of those where see how you get on.
That's the thing. Just see if you get into the final stages, then you're going to take it seriously.
Yeah, but they could be the type of team, though, that actually do go pretty far in a cup, and it does affect them in the league. So, again, with this consolidation period for Newcastle, it's got to be all about the league.
Yeah. So I agree. I completely agree, and I think that's the big worry is, what if you don't come up this season? What does the future hold for Newcastle? Because there's a lot of hollow shells of former huge clubs in the Football League, not just the Championship. There's ones lower down than that.
Leeds and Charlton.
Leeds, Charlton, all those. I mean, how important is it in the future of the history of Newcastle Football Club that you go up this year?
I think it's very important. If we don't go up, I kind of expect the worst. I expect Benitez to leave. I expect Mike Ashley to sell. Then it's all kind of up in the air, depending who takes over and what happens forward. I'd really rather not think about.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. Mate, thank you so much for getting in touch with us. Go on, give us a score prediction for the Brighton game. Come on.
Oh, I'm expecting a 2-1 win to Newcastle.
2-1 Newcastle. Mate, thank you so much for getting in touch. Our Newcastle fan from Norway. Norway, man! Oh, Norway, man! We have got a tweet in. Sam Godfrey. Do you know a Sam Godfrey?
I do, yes.
Yes, Sam Godfrey is what I thought you might. It's via Facebook, sorry. Sam Godfrey says, Mark, keep that kit on for our match tomorrow. Hashtag ULFC. What's that about? Oh... That's hashtag ULFC.
Yeah.
Hashtag is what
it's a new one. Yeah.
Hashtag ULFC, the well-known team. So, Mark, you play for Hashtag. How are they doing this year? What's this about? He wants you to keep the kit on for the match.
Well, I was supposed to be joined by one of our players today, but he lent his Oyster card to his sister and couldn't make it.
Oh, really?
Funny when the sun's shining, it's a Friday.
It's a free day, start of a 3-day weekend.
So he was due to wear the kit, so I thought, well, I'll wear it.
Oh, so you'll rock it.
So, yeah.
So what were you going to treat us with? I can tell that it's not your kit because those shorts are awfully short.
I like to put them up to give the viewers a little bit. It's XLs.
You've got the old Dermot O'Leary bulge going on. I love it. We're going to take another quick break. We will keep all our well-dressed guests on the lime green sofa as well. Stay with us on Facebook, YouTube and Sky 212. Stick around. I love him.
Thank you.
I'm here with these thermal goggles to show you how much heat these old double glazed windows lose compared to Everest triple glazing. Look where they're leaking all their heat from. You'll see on the right side here, the Everest triple glazed windows keep it inside where it belongs. That's because their 5-chamber profile and extra pane of glass help make them Everest's warmest window ever. And they're now available at 1991 prices with Price Rewind. Fit the best. Fit Everest.
At Marbles, we work hard to accept you and put you in control, even if you have a poor credit history. Answer a few easy questions, and our Fast Check service will tell you if you're likely to be accepted. You'll get an instant response, and it won't affect your credit rating. Marbles' free SMS alerts could help you stay in charge of your spending, and you can change your monthly repayment date up to twice a year. Marbles' Classic Card has a manageable credit limit from £250 up to £1,200. So get your application rolling at marbles.com today.
Battle commenced. Enemy gaining. Strike now. You are victorious.
Mobile Strike. Download and play now. Free from the App Store.
After thinking I was paying too much for my glasses, I just went home and went direct to Glasses Direct.
Me too. And this.
Ooh, fireman. Anyway, I chose from hundreds of frames from £25 with lenses. And I took their free home trial too. 4 pairs to try out at home for free.
We did that.
Test drive your new glasses today.
They're great.
And see if you could save at glassesdirect.co.uk.
What about car insurance? Imagine this fantastic website where you can check out a shed load of companies.
Be fantastic, would that?
None of those annoying pop-up adverts.
Nothing fantastic about them, Boris.
The exact right quote in minutes.
Fantastic is the word, Boris.
Go compare. Ensure your wheels fantastic deals at you know where.
You'll soon discover your ideal cover.
Nothing quite compares to Go Compare.
Fantastic!
Growing strawberries is about patience and choosing your moment. When our strawberries are ripe, it's a race against the clock to get them picked when they are at prime freshness. We can get these strawberries picked, dispatched and into the little store the next day. Well, most of them anyway.
Everest are rewinding selected prices back to 1991 with Price Rewind. So fast forward to everest.co.uk today.
Welcome back. We are, as always, across all the games going on tonight in association with Sports Lobster. Burton Albion still winning in the Championship. Kilmarnock 1-1 at Rangers as well. That game is coming to an end. Werder Bremen fans, if you're hoping for a comeback, it's finished. You lost 6-0 to Bayern Munich. Espanyol have taken the lead at home to Malaga over in La Liga as well. And Betis and Deportivo La Coruña are still 0-0. The first goal in the Bayern Munich game, I just told you, was Xabi Alonso. Is it hurt seeing him still tearing it up? I mean, if he could still get in the Bayern Munich side every week, he'd still be playing at our team, right?
Yeah. Probably a 60-yarder as well.
Yeah, knowing him, exactly. It wouldn't have been a tap-in knowing Xavi.
I don't think we'll ever get back to such a good midfield. Mascherano, Alonso and Gerrard. I don't know how we didn't win the league that season.
Yeah.
Maybe because David Ngog was our backup striker.
Exactly. Probably sold both Alonso and Mascherano even before they picked. I mean, they were great at us, but looking at the way their career progressed, you think there was so much more to come out of them than what we actually saw. I mean, Xabi Alonso is still doing it at the highest level. He's been doing it at Real Madrid. He's doing it at Bayern Munich. Mascherano, even though he's been played as a centre back, he's still doing it at Barcelona. And we're talking probably about almost 10 years out of the 2007 final, and they're still doing it at the
What
at the highest level.
about, there's been a few question marks about the captain, Jordan Henderson, so far this season. He's been poor for about a year now, hasn't he?
But he's been playing through injuries for all this year. I mean, people seem to have such a short memory. I mean, before his injuries, Hendo used to be such an important player. He used to be such a grafter. He puts in a shift. He covers a lot of ground. I think he's one of the few players in our team that can play a very, very decent long ball. there's so much to come out of him, but admittedly he had a very, very poor
well,
season.
when Liverpool lost the league to City, Henderson got suspended right near the end of the season, and then we capitulated against Crystal Palace. I'm so glad they've gone. And we lost to Chelsea without Jordan Henderson in it. Suddenly realised how important he was.
So much, I wouldn't say hate, but so much dislike in social media, and I just don't see where it's coming from. I mean, he had a poor season, but
our team, one thing we lack is leadership. We lost Gerrard, we lost Alonso, we lost Gerrard, we lost Suarez, we lost Carragher, 3 leaders in the team. Now, Henderson is not that calibre, but he's one of our leaders. And when he's not on the pitch, you really see it. There's sometimes, like, when you're looking around and you just want someone to grab the game by the scuff of the neck. And he's the type of player.
The thing I will say is he never hides. He never tries to hide from the game, does he? I
think Wijnaldum actually will be a very important.
Wijnaldum as well. I'm really looking forward to watching how he gets on this season. I'm going to interrupt because we have got a very, very special guest, exclusive to Fan TV, world exclusive. We talked about Jordan Henderson, a man that leads by example. What about this guy who's doing it? Zlatan, are you there? Boom. Hey. Zlatan, how you doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, very well. Are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. I'm not bad. Good, it's amazing how quickly you've settled into the area and adopted the local language.
Yeah, it was man of many talents. So, picked up quite quickly, no worries. I don't know how I feel talking about Zlatan with Liverpool fans on the sofa, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, they've already booed you as soon as you came on screen, I'm afraid, Zlatan. 6 points from 6. You can't stop scoring goals. You must be very happy with life in Manchester at the moment.
Yeah, no, very, very happy. Started the season quite well. Knew I would. But yeah, I couldn't have predicted this. So yeah, more than happy. Yeah.
Wait till you come up against Lovren, mate. Then we'll see what you can do. Yeah?
we'll see what happens.
You weren't very happy with Paul Pogba for not passing you the ball last week.
No, not at all.
Have you had words with Pog?
Yeah, I had to give him the Man of the Match award, which kind of killed me. But yeah, I've had a little word, so he won't do it next week, I'm sure.
Zlatan, mate, they're obviously paying you a fortune over there. What's your accommodation at the minute? They spent all the money on you, and they can't afford to put you up on a decent gaff.
Yeah.
Are you still in that bed sit?
Yeah, it's a bed sit. I'm not here for the long haul, maybe 1-2 years. So I don't want to buy a house or anything like that. So yeah, short-term rent is the way to go.
Who have they put you in a house with? Who are you sharing with? Which player?
I'm with the under 23s, man. I'm like Balotelli. So.
They dropped you to the reserves.
Yeah, I'm down.
The under 23s. How's your mate Bastian Schweinsteiger getting on? He's training with the kids at the minute.
Yeah, I feel a bit sorry for him, actually, to be fair. He's actually a good player. He just obviously doesn't fit the manager's plans. I think from his point of view, I think he's handled it in the right way. He's got his head down, knuckle down. We'll see what happens. He may come back into the team. For me, Fellaini won't probably be around all season, so we'll see what happens.
What's the so you obviously play for Man United, Zlatan. What is the kind of feeling towards what is the feeling towards Marouane Fellaini as a person and a player?
as a player, he's like Marmite. He's like, you know what I mean, 50-50.
Yeah.
Something, yeah.
I can only tell my opinion after 12 o'clock.
Good with the elbows as well. But as a person, yeah, he's a great lad, yeah. Good banter around the training ground, yeah.
It's Marouane's full of banter.
yeah.
Are you on penalty duties now at Man United?
Yeah, taken over straight away. Yeah.
How was Wayne Rooney with that? I mean, he's been there about 10 years.
Yeah, we're on nickname terms, so Waz is fine now, yeah.
What does he call you?
Big Nose, but he's all right.
The Europa League draw came out this morning. I mean, Zlatan, you're going up against Robin van Persie, former Man United striker.
Yes,
Excited to go up against him?
Yeah, it'd be nice to play against him, really. I think Europa, we'll take it seriously this season. Mourinho's always after trophies, so the group is favourable for us. I think we're one of the bigger teams in the group, obviously. But I don't know whether it's going to be a burden on the season or not. I think time will tell. But I think it'd be nice to bring some sort of European football to Old Trafford again.
I mean, Robin van Persie went to Man United. You won a league title. He smacked the goals in. Is it going to be daunting going up against a Man United striker who's done a lot more for them than you ever have?
Good question. Nah. we'll overpass it very shortly. So
You'll show us what the other two teams in there, Feyenoord and Zorya Luhansk.
Yeah, know them well.
Yeah. You've come up against Zorya Luhansk a few times in your career, have you?
Yeah, many times. Yeah, the centre backs are decent, so you'll see we get on. Yeah, we're fine.
I don't know where they're from.
Ukraine, yeah.
Whipping boys.
Ukraine. Look,
I wouldn't say it 100%, but I'm 99% sure it's Ukraine.
I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you that.
Yeah, I'll trust him as well.
Yes. Any other players going to go out? Zlatan, they're talking about Tyler Blackett has been sold already. Talking about a lot of young players going out on loan. This is classic Mourinho, isn't it? Not giving youth a chance. I mean, you're no spring chickens, Zlatan.
Well, I'm 34 now. Do you know what I mean? I think a couple more years than me. But I think the young lads, I think Mourinho just, as anywhere he's gone, he's short term, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? He's always got trophies in sort of the first season, second season, he does well. But I think that the youth players have got 3, 4, 5 seasons in them, and it'd be interesting to see what Mourinho does. Whether he's there for the long haul, then it's the right move, get experience, come back into the team. But for me, I still don't think he knows his strongest 11, so it'll be interesting as the season goes on.
Are you in the strongest 11, mate?
No question of doubt, yeah.
Thought that might be the answer.
I should be skipper, do you know what I mean?
That's a Fan TV exclusive. Zlatan wants that armband at Man United.
Yeah, I'll get it.
We've got some English football fans on here. Where do we kind of stand on Zlatan Ibrahimovic? Hate him.
Yeah.
Hate him? Really?
Yeah. He suits Man United and the manager perfectly. All arrogant. Hate him. Go model or something.
He's the sort of player you would love if he would play for your club. You would hate if he wouldn't, isn't it? He's just one of them.
He's Cantona, isn't he, really? He's one of those.
See, I like him.
Yeah, I think he's quality. He's undoubted quality.
I know he's playing for Man U now, but I can't bring myself to not like a bit of Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
He's a character, isn't it? He's the sort of player you don't need.
Is he kind of rebranded himself the last few years as well? Because there was a point I remember when he was kind of Inter and Barcelona and stuff, and English fans really didn't warm to him. He hadn't done it against English teams in Europe. He'd never played in the Premier League, and he was seen as arrogant. And then he suddenly came to this whole "I am Zlatan" thing, and he's completely remodeled now. And I think people have warmed to him a lot more in the last few years than there was at one point.
Then he signed for United and just ruined it all.
You're getting no love from the Liverpool fans.
No, I don't blame him, to be fair. I don't blame him at all. But he's hate to be loved, isn't he? He's like I said.
Final thing, Hull away. Mike Phelan is going to be in the dugout against you. What do you reckon about this weekend's game?
I think it'll be tougher than everybody thought it would be at the start of the season. I think we'll definitely win. I think it'll be a tight game. I think it'll only be sort of a 2-1, 1-1 kind of draw. We'll see what happens. I'm quite confident I'll score again. If I'm United to win, me to score, both teams to score, 10-1, we'll go for that.
Yeah, Ibrahimovic to score and Man U win.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I love it. Zlatan, mate, thanks for getting in touch. We'll talk to you more as the season goes on.
Cheers, guys.
For the weekend, Zlatan. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
The accent's amazing.
Yeah,
he's nailed it. Accent. Nailed it. Tell you what, he does properly look like him. He does. Right, we are going to go to a break. We were talking as well. We don't know if it's completely illegal to say that we've got Ibrahimovic coming on the show. It might be. Give us a call if we've broken the rules there. It's too late now.
Are we going to find out which Kim doesn't pull eventually?
Yes, exactly.
That's on my mind.
That's exactly what we're going to do. You and my director and my producer are going to get along well because he wants me to hurry up. Yes, we're still playing Kim or Kim. Don't worry. The latest clue out of Kim Kardashian, Kim Jong-un or Kim Kallstrom. We want to know which Kim doesn't poo. Find out after the break.
That's why I'm saying that's serious.
For brilliant entertainment, join Sky TV and get a free 32-inch LG TV with any Sky bundle. Watch the latest shows like the new US crime drama Shades of Blue on Sky Living. And introducing the all-new Cinema Bundle, featuring a new premiere every day and improved HD and sound. So join Sky TV from £20 a month and get a free LG TV, the latest shows and a Sky Plus HD box. Search Sky Bundles or call 0800 151 2775. Sky. Believe in better.
so sorry, I thought you were a chair. Sorry.
Our breakfasts are freshly prepared, even if you're not. Like the all-in-one breakfast wrap. McDonald's. We make breakfast.
Our new free time plans give you free electricity from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays or Sundays. So you can do the cleaning for free. Cook a family feast for free. Or catch up on box sets for free. So switch now and you'll get a free upgrade to smart meters and free electricity 9 to 5 every Saturday or Sunday. Switch now and start saving. Call 0800 980 4045 or search British Gas Free Time.
How would you like access to over 1,200 pounds of fitness programming free? Hi, my name is Carl Deichler, and I'm the CEO of Beachbody. You've probably seen our fitness solutions on TV, like P90X and 21 Day Fix. And now you can stream our digital library of fitness programs right to your computer, tablet, or smartphone free for 30 days. Just go to bod30.co.uk and get started losing weight fast. That's bod30.co.uk, and I'll see you online.
Right now, there's an amazing deal on super reliable BT broadband. Join today and get a massive 67% discount. It's £5 a month and a 12-month contract. You'll get a super reliable Wi-Fi connection. And when you're out and about, you can connect into the UK's largest Wi-Fi network for free. You can also get a £75 BT reward card when you sign up online by the 4th of August. Get BT broadband for £5 a month and on a 12-month contract. For new joiners discounts, call 0800 800 950 or visit bt.com/deals.
Hi there, welcome back to Fan TV. Toby Tarrant here. We're live on Sky 212, Facebook and YouTube. And before the break, we were playing another round of Kim, or Kim. It's the moment, Robert, you've been waiting for. You've been begging me for the answer. We asked you, which Kim doesn't poo? Is it Kim Kardashian, Kim Jong-un or Kim Kallstrom? Any ideas?
Well, I thought it was Kardashian because she stores it all in her behind.
And that's what that is. That's why it's
so
constantly
big.
getting bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
Do all women do that? Because they seem to always get bigger with age as well.
I'm not saying anything, I'll get slapped when I get home.
Yeah, you've got to go home to a wife. I don't. I can tell you the answer is, you think you know.
His theory sounds as close as you can, but it must be the North Korean.
North Korean dictator. It is. It's Kim Jong-un. I think it's from the film The Interview. The theory is that Kim Jong-un doesn't poo. So that's another Fan TV exclusive. I can't believe we've hit this low point already. We're only a few episodes into the whole show. Right. Do we have our Skype caller with us now? We do. We have a Man United fan on Skype. Paul, you there? Yeah. You're getting booed here. You're getting booed here, Paul. We just had Zlatan Ibrahimovic on the show. Did you see that interview?
Yeah, I just briefly seen that, yes.
You must be delighted to have Zlatan. Hello, can you hear me, Paul?
Sorry?
Sorry. You must be delighted to have Zlatan. He's the kind of player you want on your team, isn't he?
He's absolutely superb, even for his age. Like, he's unbelievable. Like,
is he the best of the three of all the signings you spent the big money on? I know he was a free, but.
Well, we didn't actually spend any money on him.
But you're paying him a decent wage.
Well, I don't know exactly how much they're paying him, but whatever they're paying him is keeping him happy and scoring, so I don't mind.
Is he your favourite of all the summer arrivals?
I can't say he is. I'd say Paul Back is actually one of my favourite signings, to be quite honest.
The Europa League draw came out today. Fenerbahce, you're going to be back up against Robin van Persie. Looking forward to that? Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. It'd be nice to see Van Persie back at United Stadium, but I'm more worried about the likes of Feyenoord because the past history of Feyenoord versus the likes of Man United as well. Like.
Do you care about the Europa League? Do you care about how you do that this season?
I hope we do well. I really do. I genuinely, sincerely do. We hope we do well. Like, if we do well, all the better. Like, if not, we don't do well. But I think we've got the team for it. If we don't, it wouldn't surprise me if we don't go far on it. Like, so.
I can tell you, whatever happens, you won't be playing West Ham. They're out, by the way. They're out.
Mickey Mouse cut.
So I just had to mention that in about 30 seconds. I just wanted about the West Ham are out of the Europa League.
I want to go back to Justin.
yeah, next time come back when Justin's on. I thought we were getting along so well. This weekend, Mike Phelan, he's a bit of a legend for a Man U fan.
He was assistant manager for Alex Ferguson, I think, three out of his time. Like, even though if he wasn't his assistant, he was like a backstage staff. Like, so he's going to be really interesting to see how he takes on Hull against us. So it's going to be a tricky game, no doubt about it. But I can't see Hull holding us out for long.
I also want to just shake Mike Phelan's hand just for that time he pops the balloon in that video next to Sir Alex Ferguson. Brilliant. It's so good. I just want to shake your hand, Mike Phelan, for bringing us that. Thank you so much. Any more transfer dealings coming in, do you reckon, before the end of the window? Lot to talk about Font at centre-back.
I really can't see it. Fonte, no disrespect to any Southampton fans, I don't think he's a Man United quality player. I think United have all talents in that centre-back role. Not to say they won't come in, it's hard to know, but for me personally, it's not really a United player.
You know if he's good. Is that a position that they need? I mean, you've got that Eric Bailly who looks a great signing.
I think so. With the likes of Smalling and, even though many fans don't like Phil Jones, but Phil Jones and lots of fans as well. Like, we've got plenty of replacements, so I'm not really worried about that.
Yeah, fair enough. What's a good season for you guys this year? You've spent an awful lot of money, 5th last year. What are you expecting? What do you think is achievable?
I think the achievable will probably be top 3, to be quite honest. But it'll be stretching it to come first, I would say. But it's hard to say. Like, it's too early in the season.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, you look, for all intents and purposes. What do you reckon, lads? I mean, I hate to say it, they look ominously good, don't they, Man United?
Well, they should definitely be aiming for the title, no doubt.
Just early 100%. Days, though. Early days.
They're
it's
going
just
down.
Too early, though.
They're going down.
They do look good, though. So it would be hard to see them not finishing in top 4. But as far as already telling that they're definitely going to be up there to win the league, just early days. Let's wait and see.
There's a lot of teams, though, that have done a lot of chopping and changing, so they're not the only ones. So I think they could.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's not too many teams that are that settled going into this new season.
No.
What are you thinking of the whole situation? So your usual title rivals must be tough as a Man U fan watching what's going on at Arsenal at the moment.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous. But the way Mike Phelan's brought them together, it just shows he has kind of background and where he's come from, like, and the strength of the type of manager he is to pull them all together. Even though they've only got about 13 players, is actually technically what you call fit. But like, he's doing an absolutely superb job, like, for what he has.
What about Steve Bruce as well? He's gone from Hull. Future Man United manager, the fat dinner lady. Is he going to manage you one day?
No.
Fair enough. I think we'll leave it on that, Paul. Thank you, mate. Thank you for calling in.
No problem.
Appreciate it, mate. We'll catch up with you later in the season. Cheers, mate. I mean, I hate to say it. Is it between the two Manchester clubs? Is it a 2-horse race, this league title?
Too early to say. I mean, there's loads of factors that can come in. The transfer window isn't even finished. Couple injuries. The fitness will kick on later. I mean, I might be subjective, but I reckon Liverpool and Chelsea have a massive advantage going into the latter stages of the season by not playing Europe. I mean, there's quite a few factors that can change things. But obviously, you do have to say that so far the two teams from Manchester definitely look like contenders. There's no doubt about it.
This not playing in Europe thing, which you would know all about, it's become.
They still have the shirts though, so
they've got the t-shirt. You've been there, got the t-shirt. Quite literally, $14.99. It seems to be getting talk to talk. Like the last 4, 5, 6 years, it's really become this huge thing. I think it was when Liverpool nearly won the league without European football from 8th the season before and lost to City in the end. How huge is it to not be in Europe?
It makes a big difference because, like you said, Liverpool, we almost won the league. The same thing with Leicester. And if you look at teams, sometimes you get mid-table teams that finish in the FA Cup final and go to Europa League, or teams that get relegated. We've seen them go to Europa League. And it affects your league position massively. I mean, last season, Liverpool, for example, I think we got to a point where we thought we're going to choose one, the league or the cup, or the cup. And we went for the Europa League. Unfortunately, we didn't win. But I think if we concentrated in the Premier League, We could have even finished in the top 4.
It's added a whole new dynamic, this Champions League for the winners of the Europa League, hasn't it? I mean, you know, I don't want to be unkind, but was Europa League winning that more likely, isn't it, than finishing in the top 4 for West Ham, do you think?
I don't think either is likely, to be honest.
Really?
To be blatantly honest, no, I don't think either. So I think if we'd have got far in Europa, which we didn't, I don't know if you know.
Doing it yourself?
Yeah, I'll wait for you to. So yeah, it just would have hindered us further in the league. So, you know, I'm kind of glad we're out of it. Just forget it.
Yeah, you would say that.
Absolutely.
Depends on the depth of the squad as well. I mean, if you have...
Yeah, we don't have...
I mean, yeah. if you look even at the Spurs last season, they've done quite decent in Europa League, and then they went to the double against Dortmund, and they were actually at the point where they literally had to decide to play the second team and not even try, because they were in the title challenge.
Yeah.
So unless you've got about at least 15, 16 players of similar quality level, it's going to be very hard to do it in both Europe and League.
Yeah. Is it a mental thing as well? Does it get talked about so much that the players start believing it? Because there shouldn't be too much of a difference because the Thursday to Sunday, Europa League seems to be the one that really affects teams.
Yeah.
But it's no different to Wednesday to Saturday. I mean, Man City played away in Bucharest and then with an early kickoff on the Saturday last weekend.
It must be more mental rather than physical. I think it's all... You get to that stage of the season where you try to sort your head out and you try to prioritize things rather than taking games one by one. You start overthinking, should we go more for the Europe, should we go more for the league? And that obviously plays a part.
Yeah, sometimes it's the teams you play as well, I think. You know, if you're playing in the Champions League, you're going to very good teams that players want to go and play at. If you're in the Europa League and you're going to some really dark and dingy places, it's kind of like in the FA Cup when you have to go to I don't want to say any bad teams now, but teams where I don't want to alienate anybody here. I remember you go to some horrible grounds where you don't fancy it on a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of mentality.
I remember the group stages last season of Liverpool. There's nothing to remember.
Yeah.
There was nothing there. I mean, I remember that Sion game away. Absolutely not. Most of them, in all the fairness, it was just.
I think if you look at the thing, it's the mentality comes from the top down, and I think where Man United have an advantage is Mourinho's mentality. Whatever team they're playing, whatever competition, he wants his teams to play the best. He always puts out the best team. And the advantage he has over Conte and Pep Guardiola is he knows the league. So they got a big advantage, even though they're playing in the Europa.
All right, we've literally got a few seconds left. In a word, where are West Ham going to finish? In a number, where are West Ham going to finish this season?
6th.
Liverpool?
Title challenge. That can be anywhere between 1st and 4th. It's going to be a title challenge.
Let's just beat United. So.
I could go along with that. We are finished, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff. That is it for tonight here on Fan TV. Thank you to everyone who joined me on the sofa and everyone who joined us via Skype as well. This is your show, so thank you so much for getting involved. And if you want to join me here on the lime green sofa, get along to our website, fantv.me. Get in touch with us and you could be here chatting to me about all things football. Tomorrow, Kiri Bleu will be here on the lime green sofa where she will be guiding you through all of Saturday's games. Sorry. Last one from you guys as well. The weekend prediction. Tottenham away, scoreline.
Fitness is going to come into play, so we're just going to edge it 1-0 win towards the end of the game.
1-0 Coutinho Magic.
1-0 Coutinho Magic.
Against City, I'd go for a draw, hopefully.
A draw. Right, you heard it here first. West Ham draw, Liverpool going to win. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Sorry, mate. So did I.